Namaskar to all. We are about to commence with the day's proceeding. An earnest request to all to keep the mobiles in their silent mode. Thank you. A very good morning to the August House and to those who are connected with us virtually. With the permission of His Lordship, Honorable the Chief Justice of the Guwahati High Court, may we begin with the inaugural session of today's sensitization program. Lordship. Thank you, Lordship. The Honorable Guwahati High Court is celebrating the completion of 75 glorious years since its establishment on 5th of April 1948. The ICT Committee, Gauhati High Court, in collaboration with the E-Committee, Supreme Court of India, and the Judicial Academy, Assam, is organizing today's sensitization program on application of information and communication technology, ICT, in Indian Judiciary for all the stakeholders in the justice delivery system to mark the Platinum Jubilee celebration of our Honorable Guwahati High Court. On this occasion, we are honored by the benign presence of Honorable the Chief Justice, Guwahati High Court, Honorable Mr. Justice L.S. Jamir, Judge in Charge, Administrative Department, Guwahati High Court, Honorable Mr. Justice M.R. Pathak, Judge in Charge, Training, Guwahati High Court, Honorable Mr. Justice Suman Shyam, Chairman, ICT Committee, Guwahati High Court, other Honorable Judges of the Guwahati High Court, Honorable Judges of the High Court of Kerala, Karnataka, and Rajasthan. Now, may I take the privilege to welcome Honorable the Chief Justice, Guwahati High Court, Honorable Mr. Justice M.R. Pathak, Judge in Charge Training, Honorable Mr. Justice A. Muhammad Mustaq, Judge, High Court of Kerala, Honorable Mr. Justice Suman Shyam, Chairman, ICT Committee, Guwahati High Court, Honorable Mr. Justice Bineet Kumar Mathur, Judge, Rajasthan High Court, Honorable Dr. Justice Pushpendra Singh Bhatti, Judge, Rajasthan High Court, Honorable Mr. Justice Suraj Govindraj, Judge, High Court of Karnataka, Dr. Parvinder Singh Arora, Member Project Management E-Committee, Supreme Court of India, and Honorable Mr. Justice Mir Alfaz Ali, Director, Judicial Academy, Assam, to kindly adorn the chairs on the dais. I request Ratnadeep Sir and Kanchan Ma'am to escort our honorable dignitaries. With sincere reverence and deep veneration, we take the privilege to offer our felicitations to our honorable dignitaries on the dais. We'd like to felicitate Honorable the Chief Justice, Guwahati High Court, on this auspicious day. I request Shri Gautam Borwa, Registrar General, Guwahati High Court, to do the honors. Thank you, sir. I'd like to request Sri Roman Borwa, Registrar Vigilance, Guwahati High Court, to felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice M.R. Pathak, Judge, Guwahati High Court. I adjure Shri Utpal Rajkua, Registrar Administration, Guwahati High Court, to felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice A. Muhammad Mustaq, Judge, High Court of Kerala. I impetrate Srimati Kanchan Newar, Secretary, Guwahati High Court Legal Services, to felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice Suman Shyam, Chairman, ICT Committee, Guwahati High Court. I'd like to request Sri S.P. Moitra, Faculty, Judicial Academy, Assam, to felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice Bineet Kumar Mathur, Judge, Rajasthan High Court. I call upon Sri Ratnadip Bhattacharjee, Faculty, Judicial Academy, Assam, to felicitate Honorable Dr. Justice Pushpendra Singh Bhatti, Judge, Rajasthan High Court. I adjure Sri Debashis Kashyap, OSD, E-Courts Division of the Guwahati High Court, to felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice Suraj Govindraj, Judge, High Court of Karnataka. I'd like to request Sri Chinmoy Borua, OSD, Gauhati High Court, to felicitate Dr. Parvinder Singh Arora, Member Project Management E-Committee, Supreme Court of India. I call upon Sri Somar Jyoti Doctor, Deputy Registrar Recruitment, Gauhati High Court, to felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice Mir Al-Fazari, Director, Judicial Academy, Assam. Many, many felicitations to all our honorable dignitaries on the dais. With this, we come to the end of our felicitation ceremony. Thank you all. Now, may we request Honorable Mr. Justice Suman Shyam, Chairman, ICT Committee, Gauhati High Court, to deliver the welcome address. Lordship.
A very good morning to everybody. Honorable Chief Justice of the Guwahati High Court, Mr. Justice Sandeep Mehta, other dignitaries and honored guests on and off the dais, ladies and gentlemen. As you are aware, this program has been organized in sync with the Platinum Jubilee celebration of the Guwahati High Court. I distinctly remember it was sometime in the second week of February 2023, about 2-3 days after Honorable Justice Mehta took oath as the Chief Justice of Guwahati High Court, that I was discussing with His Lordship in his chamber as to how we can possibly celebrate the Platinum Jubilee. And that is when Justice Mehta told that we will not only have a grand celebration, but we will do one or two things which will add value to the institution and be of permanent benefit to all of us. And that is when the Honorable Chief Justice had come up with the idea of organizing a training program, an awareness and sensitization training program today, by inviting experts from the other high courts who have done a little better than us in the realm of IT and ICT affairs, and that is how we are here today. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very pleasing to see that today's house consists of not only representatives from the state government officials, the judicial officers, a very sizable member of the bar is present here. I can see the government councils are here, and most importantly, we have a number of students who are attending this program. I would like to say that the things that are happening in the Indian judiciary today, in the realm of the process of digitization, whatever little research I have done, I have seen that this is not only happening in an unprecedented scale, but perhaps this type of activities and at this pace is not happening in any part of the world. So therefore, it will not be wrong to say that there is a silent revolution happening in the judiciary, where efforts are on not only to increase the efficiency of the system, but in a way to go for a process re-engineering, so that we change the way we have been handling cases last 30, 40, 50 years or so. And I have no doubt in my mind that we are going to go in leaps and bounds under the leadership of the Honorable Chief Justice of India, who is taking, his Lordship is taking extremely keen and active interest in digitizing the judiciary. In the words of the famous French poet and novelist Victor Hugo, he once said, "There is nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come." I think the time for judiciary to go digital and change the way we work, increase the efficiency of the system, is now inevitable. Therefore, the need of the hour is to onboard everyone, all stakeholders, to understand the benefits of digitized process of judiciary and take advantage of it. We are extremely fortunate today that we have some experts in the form of Honorable Justice Mushtaq, Honorable Justice Vineet Mathur, Honorable Justice P.S. Bhatti, Honorable Justice Suraj Govindraj, and the member project of the E-Committee, Dr. P.S. Arora, who are present here today. During the course of the day, they will be making their presentations. I request all of you to pay kind attention to what will be said during the course of the day and clarify all your doubts, because this is an excellent opportunity for all of us to upgrade ourselves in the system of digitized judiciary. With these few words, I extend a very warm welcome to all our resource persons who have come from different parts of the country, and also all of you present here today. Wish you a very, very absorbing and learning experience in the next few hours. Namaskar and Jai Hind.
Profound gratitude, Lordship. Now I beseech my Lord, Honorable Mr. Justice M.R. Pathak, Judge in Charge Training, Guwahati High Court, to address the August House. Lordship.
Honorable Mr. Justice Sandeep Mehtaji, Chief Justice of Guwahati High Court, the High Court of Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram, and Arunachal Pradesh. Honorable Mr. Justice A. Muhammad Mushtaq, Honorable Mr. Justice Shuman Shyam, Honorable Dr. Justice Pushpendra Singh Bhatti, Honorable Justice Vineet Kumar Mathur, Honorable Mr. Justice Suraj Govindraj, Honorable Mr. Justice Retired Alfaz Ali, Dr. Parvinder Singh Aroraji, sister and brother judges of the Honorable Guwahati High Court, learned members of the District Judiciary of Kamrup Metropolitan as well as Kamrup District who are present here, learned advocates and the members of the bar, dear law students, Registrar General of the Guwahati High Court Gautam Barua and his team in the registry of the Guwahati High Court, learned faculty members, the research officer, staff of the Judicial Academy Assam, all present here, and all the learned judicial officers of the district judiciaries of Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, who have joined virtually. Namaskar and a very good morning to all of you. For enhancement of judicial productivity in qualitative and in quantitative manner, all involved with the information and communication technology in judiciary in India are trying very hard to make the justice delivery system affordable, accessible, cost-effective, transparent, and accountable. To make the courts more efficient, fast, responsible, and user-friendly in today's world, The use of information and communication technology will bring a big change in judiciary, and we all have full trust on it. The Guwahati High Court, with its ICT committee and the Judicial Academy Assam, have arranged this sensitization program on application of information and communication technology in judiciary, inviting Honorable Mr. Justice A. Muhammad Mustaq from Kerala High Court, Honorable Dr. Justice Pushpendra Singh Bhati and Honorable Justice Vinit Kumar Mathur from Rajasthan High Court, Honorable Mr. Justice Suraj Govind Raj from Karnataka High Court, and Dr. Parvinder Singh Arora, Member of Project Management, E-Committee, Supreme Court of India, the domain experts in the field who are amongst us today. This has become possible only for our Chief Justice, Honorable Sandeep Mehtaji, Patron-in-Chief of the ICT Committee of our High Court, with Brother Justice Suman Shyam, Chairman of ITC Committee, Gauhati High Court, and Honorable Mr. Justice Retired Mr. Alfaz Ali, Director of Judicial Academy Assam, and his team. I am confident that this sensitization program on application of ICT in judiciary will enlighten us towards a paperless court, interoperable criminal justice delivery system, etc. We are now all set and looking forward for today's program on the eve of Platinum Jubilee of our High Court. Thank you, Namaskar, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Lordship, for those kind words. May we now take the privilege to implore His Lordship, Honorable the Chief Justice of the Gauhati High Court, to kindly deliver Lordship's speech on this occasion.
Good morning, Namaskar. Today, as we commence our journey into the celebrations for the Platinum Jubilee of the Guwahati High Court, I am indeed delighted that we have chosen to start the celebration by making an effort to teach ourselves the one field of justice delivery which has invaded our lives in all spheres. My esteemed brother, Honorable Justice M.R. Pathak, Honorable Justice Dr. P.S. Bhati, Honorable Justice Vinit Mathur, Honorable Justice Muhammad Mustaq, Honorable Justice Mir Alfaz Ali, Dr. Parvinder Singh Arora, my sister and brother judges from my parent High Court, my sister and brother High Court judges from the Guwahati High Court, senior officers from the administration, Government of Assam, members of the bar, senior advocates, members, faculty members of the Judicial Academy, officers of the Registry, officers of the Judiciary, and above all, dear students. This is a time when we see our Honorable Chief Justice of India having a keen interest in ensuring that the ICT tools are utilized fully so that the dispensation of justice becomes cheaper, accessible to all, and above all, it facilitates the quick disposal of cases, which is an emergent need of the hour. With this thought in mind, myself, my esteemed brother, Justice Pathak, and esteemed brother, Justice Suman Shyam, we sat together and thought, why not devise this program wherein the beginning will be such that the forthcoming celebrations, they will shape the forthcoming celebrations in an absolutely amazing manner. So it was conceived to hold this one-day training program for sensitization on ICT. The next thought which came into mind, that who to invite for imparting this training. So news, as you know, is the only source or the best source of information. So here we have with us the news, north, east, south, west. Dr. Parvinder Singh Arora from north, Brother Justice Sham from east, Brother Justice Mushtaq and Suraj from south, and Brothers Dr. P.S. Bhatia and Justice Vineet Mathur from west. We all will collect together and discuss threadbare how to take this ICT system in Guwahati High Court forward. We had all equipments in place. We had the intent. All that is needed is impetus. And I'm sure that with the kind of knowledgeable resource persons we have amongst us, if we devote our time with rapt attention, I'm sure all of us will leave this auditorium really enriched, and the objective of invoking this system, which is going to change our entire perspective of justice delivery, we will be gaining a lot in it. I'm so happy that the officers from the administration and all the law officers, the government advocates are here. If we had taken this program in isolation, maybe with the judicial officers and the students, we would not have been able to achieve what we want to achieve. Because unless it is a participative process, the results will not be possible. Once I came to this court, I have been talking to the government advocates that you will have to change your filing systems. I have been telling the registry officers that these filing systems need to be upgraded. And today is the day when you will get all kind of information which you require as to how this transformation is to be done. The transformation will take place, and it will take place at a great speed, I can assure you, and it will be for the betterment of everyone. I sincerely thank you all for having come to this program, which is going to enrich us beyond our belief. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Lordship, for those benevolent words of inspiration and for having given the meeting a perspective. Now may I request Honorable Mr. Justice Mir Alfaz Ali, Director, Judicial Academy, Assam, to propose the vote of thanks.
Honorable the Chief Justice, Honorable Judges, dignitaries, distinguished guests on and off the dais, ladies and gentlemen. To be entrusted with the task of offering vote is always a matter of great honor and privilege, particularly in a function like this. Someone said, once new technology rules over you, if you are not part of it, you are part of the road. So in the justice delivery system also, we cannot think of moving forward without the information technology. Honorable Chief Justice, Your Lordship has been the architect of this program, and you have been our inspiration, source of inspiration for making this program. I, on behalf of the Judicial Academy and the ICT Committee, Guwahati High Court, extend our sincere thanks and gratitude to your lordships. I also extend our sincere thanks and gratitude to Honorable Justice A. Mohammad Mustaq, Honorable Justice Bineet Kumar Mathur, Honorable Justice Puspendra Singh Bhatti, Honorable Justice Suraj Govindraj, and Dr. Parveen Singh Arora for taking all the pain to be here as resource persons, and also your valuable suggestions and guidance in framing this program. My Lord Justice M.R. Pathak and Justice Suman Sham, Chairman ICT Committee Guwahati, and all other member judges of the ICT Committee, your constant support and guidance has been there, otherwise we could not be able to organize these functions. The E-Committee, Supreme Court of India, and more particularly Justice Retired R.V. Sawan, Vice Chairman of the Supreme Court, has extended all support and guidance in organizing this program. We extend our sincere thanks and gratitude to Honorable Justice R.C. Chavan and the members of the Supreme Court E-Committee. Honorable Judges of the High Court who are present over here, I extend my heartfelt gratitude and thanks to all of you for gracing the occasions. I extend my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to Vice Chancellor, National Law University, Mr. Ahuja, Mr. Mukesh Sahu, Principal Secretary, Women and Child Development Department, Government of Assam, LR and Commissioner to the Government of Assam, Vice Chancellor, Cotton University, I also, on behalf of the committee, extend our heartfelt thanks and gratitude to the learned members of the bar, senior advocates, government officials, judicial officers, law students, Registrar General Gautam Borua and his team in the registry, faculty, staff, and officer of the Judicial Academy, staff of the High Court, law students, and all who are present here. I could not mention their name because of time constraints. At the end, I again extend my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to all of you who are present over here. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Lordship. With the permission of His Lordship, Honorable the Chief Justice of the Guwahati High Court, may we declare the closure of this inaugural ceremony and to commence with the technical sessions, my Lord. And we request our Srimati Kanchan Newar and Sri Ratnodip Bhattacharya to kindly come over to the dais, and we request the honorable dignitaries to kindly proceed to and take their seats on the auditorium. Kindly bear with us till we make a little arrangement on stage.
A warm good morning to everyone. Thanks to Honorable Chief Justice Sandeep Mehta inviting me here. It's not an invitation, actually he issued a warrant to me, non-bailable warrant. When he said it's non-negotiable, you have to be here. Thanks for the Guwahati High Court for your hospitality. I feel you want me to introduce?
We wanted to.
I should take,
We wanted to introduce you to the audience.
it seems they want to introduce me. They've already been introduced. Anyway,
With the permission of His Lordship, may we have the privilege to introduce Honorable Mr. Justice A. Mohammad Mustaq, the Judge, High Court of Kerala. Lordship is an expert in the field of information technology and related laws. Lordship has presented many, made presentations in various seminars and published a whole lot of papers in the academic field as well. Presently, Lordship is the chairman of the Computerization Committee of Kerala High Court, which has successfully implemented e-filing and e-office in the District Judiciary of Kerala for quick delivery of official communications. And Lordship will be taking up the first technical session, that is on change management. And may we now request Honorable Mr. Justice A. Mohammad Mustaq to kindly proceed. Thank you, Lordship.
thank you. Well, I've been made as the chairman of ICT committee by none other than Justice Rishikesh Roy when he was the Chief Justice of Kerala High Court. And I'm also thankful to him putting me at of the affairs of the ICT committee of Kerala. So I have also heard duty to the Guwahati High Court in that sense. Well, it appears to be a unique program where students, lawyers, the officers in administration, judicial officers, all converging together to share their thoughts and experience. In fact, is to bring a change, not only in the judiciary, but in all other segments. Well, world around us changed. When our Honorable Prime Minister announced about a digital India, we never knew what is happening around us. Though technology has permeated in every walk of our life, but we are a bit reluctant to accept or embrace the changes happening around us. That's exactly the reason prompted Chief Justice to organize a meeting like this. This would connect future generation to present generation. This would connect those who are disconnected to connect the structure. And this would be the first step, perhaps, to have a new thinking and ideas to shape our judiciary and across the nation. I want to be given the three concepts where around the changes that would shape the judiciary in the future. These three concepts have to be understood and comprehended in right perspective for bringing the changes. For the last 19 years, we have been working for bringing the changes, but hardly there is any visible changes in judiciary except for the information system. How to bring changes? There must be a fundamental transformation should take place in our mindset first. The rest is a matter for procedure to be followed. We are the reluctant, as I said earlier, to embrace changes. Unlike our counterparts in other professionals, doctors, etc., they are all accepting the changes. And they accept the technology in their profession. We must begin a thought. In the past, we were all nomads, and we don't have a settled habitat. We all know each other, so we don't require a law. But we moved from that stage to a centralized structure. In that centralized structure, we are an authority, and we call in the sovereign, and sovereign dictate the laws. That set a pattern of behavior in the society, and that regulates our behavior. That's why we call the law. The law set a certain pattern of behavior that structure the relationship. So law itself become a trust. And it is that generation went to understand what is the law and what the jurisprudence behind the law. From the 16th and 17th century onwards, you find the modern states have been developed notions of philosophy. And we have now a very modern states on constitutional ideals and principles. Now again, we are moving to another decentralized structure. And that's what we are talking about today. What is a decentralized structure? How this is happening across the globe? Now is happening in the nation. The future of growth of a country would depend on how we shape our digital economy. That's what our Prime Minister says, that we are making in a digital India. That means all the information will be in the cobweb. It will be networked. We are also going to be, knowingly or unknowingly, we're going to be part of that network, the information system. The GDP is expected to grow at level of 1% to 2% through a digital economy. So countries aspiring for its future strength in terms of sustenance of digital economy. Our strength in the future would depend upon how we shape the digital economy. In that process, everyone has to be a part of it. Lawyers or judicial system cannot remain oblivious or aloof from that system. They have to be integrated with its system. That means you can't escape from that system. So what is a decentralized structure now we are looking forward? The technology itself becomes the trust. A lot of information that moves in that network is dependent upon the technology. The technology itself becomes the trust. The decentralized structure would shape entire affairs we are now regulating through the law. From centralized structure to decentralized structure means a trust-based structure we are aiming for. We have a high centralized structure here in the form of physical building of the Guwahati High Court, the same form of High Court and the edifice we have in New Delhi, the Supreme Court. That for years, people could not access to have a justice for the reason that there exist physical barriers for them in different form. And centralized structure, it results in a concentrations. And that results in denial of justice to many which cannot afford to have access to that concentrated powers, which weaves around that centralized structure. In judiciary, what we are looking for, the decentralized structure, is to have an access to justice for all and not deny to none. It is conceptually in its philosophical ideals, yes, as enshrined in Article 39A of the Constitution, access to justice being the goal. We fundamentally focusing on for access to justice to citizens from all walks, all segments, without any barriers. That's perhaps the unique sense of understanding, the philosophical sense to access to justice. But more than that, in functional, it carries different dimensions. Of course, we'll have a deliberation. That's how then functionally it carries. When judiciary start functioning in a decentralized structure, that will have a deliberation later. Now, second aspect is conceptually we need to understand the difference between power of knowledge and power of ideas. Knowledge considered the powerful. No doubt it still continues to be powerful. We were looking upon our seniors in the bar. We were looking upon the elders in the bar. We were looking upon others for assistance because they possess certain enormous knowledge on the position of the law. That is a simple example I could say in our judicial function or legal professions. You would ask them doubts, they would come with your help, they would provide answers to the legal positions and propositions. They would relate to some citations of Supreme Court, other high courts, and say that you can find it in 1973 Supreme Court, 63 Supreme Court, etc. The knowledge was considered as powerful in the past. But today's knowledge is cannot be treated as powerful in the sense knowledge has become the data. Everyone whoever wants to get an idea on the certain areas or information on the law, legal data, legal knowledge, they just need to only browse the Google, you would get an answer on that. So knowledge has become a data today. The future of system is not dependent upon your knowledge because knowledge is easily accessible for everyone. But future of judicial function or legal profession is centered around the idea you generate out of this knowledge. When knowledge becomes data, the ideas become powerful. It is from this understanding with march and shape our future. The ideas that alone would shape the legal profession, that alone would shape judicial functions. So as I said, two aspects is now. One is I related to you the decentralized structure, why we need ICT transformation in the judiciary. These are the conceptual aspects we need to relate. One is decentralization, that one is aspect. Second is beyond the knowledge, we need to generate ideas, and that ideas would generate a new judiciary through the platform of technology. You look at the world across us, the globe around us, how the people have shaped this new world through the ideas. I often used to cite the examples of Steve Jobs, how his idea created today's the modern device called smartphones. All of us now using. Many youngsters may not be knowing it, kind of the device we used when 1996. We may not be aware of what kind of a phone we were used to. We just used to connect people each other, that's all. The phone means to connect each other, like any other landline phones. Many might not have even seen the landline phones. People use this device for only connect to each other, to talk to each other. But today, what all you want, that would be available in the fingertip that using the smartphone. The ideas that shape the change. Look at the cab aggregator like Ola, Uber, etc. Without owning a single automotive, they connected all the automotives in the world in one platform. The taxis, cabs otherwise were operating, but this idea shaped a new world. Similarly, this idea can generate a potential change in our judicial function. Knowledge becomes the data, that this idea would shape the judiciary in a multi-dimension way, enhancing efficiencies, impacting the life of the litigants, etc. The third aspect is when all the information ecosystem operate around us, when there is a seamless transfer of data within the ecosystem, many of the grievances would be addressed by the system itself. We are all acumen in interpreting the laws. Legal dogmas and adjudication is our skills. But future, many of the kind of work now we do in the legal field or we deal with in a judicial function will not be there in the future because system could itself emancipate. That shift slowly is happening around us. Its lack of information, its lack of coherence in the system often results in litigations. People rush to the court because they have no idea what is happening for his applications is moved before the taluk office or before the revenue officers, etc. People come to the court for litigation like declaring caste status, reservations. Those kind of litigation would disappear in this future. It will not be there because system itself could emancipate because all the data of individuals, of persons, of a system would be available and would be moving around in the ecosystem. Today, you might be those who have experienced the banking sector and obtained loans from the bank. You know that how the system itself works. It's called the credit standards, so standing. The CIBIL, it's recorded. And its creditworthiness will be known to everyone. And similarly, the entire system will work within the data, and data could determine your fate, your competence, your eligibility, etc. Why should we have an exams like entrance to a law schools, to medical college, etc.? Why? Because system is not in a position to analyze your competence. And as a result, we need such kind of exams. So slowly we are moving away from such system because system itself could generate your competence and capabilities. But you will have a different role in the future, especially when youngsters are here and sitting over there. I believe you need to reorient your process re-engineering about your career in the future, about the future. Don't try to be stereotype. You see what you see around us is not the profession for you. You will have a different future in the legal profession. So the conceptual aspects. One is decentralization. Second is the idea. And third is the capability of system to emancipate the grievances. These concepts broadly would shape the judicial function in the future and the legal profession in the future. There are three stages of the technology. The first is supportive. The second is replacement, and third is a disruption. The supportive means, as we done in the first phase of the ICT initiative, as directed by E-Committee, we gave all the hardwares, the E-Committee gave all hardwares and softwares in certain level and brought infrastructure. The second stage is replacement. That means we are in the stage of e-filing. That is now be shaping across the nation. But third would be disruption. Disruption, no one can predict what's going to happen next. And that's where we need to predict ourselves. And that's where the youngsters, future generation has to get ready themselves to face it. the past, the authority of the court is accepted. Being a neutral umpire, the verdict is accepted by everyone in the process. No one questioned it because they are independent, impartial, and neutral in delivering the judgments. Their authority was the respect for the litigant and the people of this country. But today, we are slowly moving into a different angle. They are not going to respect because we wield powers, we wield authority. They are looking in terms of satisfaction of the service being rendered to them. So young lawyers, you have to keep in your mind the kind of service what we provide to the litigant. That's going to be the most important, not your authority. People can't wait for years and years for your verdict. They need to have a satisfactory service. What we need to provide them as service at the best possible manner to their satisfaction. And that change you have to realize. People would not respect judiciary because of we wield the power. We have an authority to decide, or we have an authority to adjudicate the disputes. They will go to only respect the kind of service being provided. So this aspect has to be kept in mind for young lawyers. You can't see your litigant as a means for a year end, but you have to see that you are the means to their end. The change in the outlook and attitude of the litigant, you have to look at when you're talking about ICT infrastructure. While in taking initiative for ICT initiative, what should be our approach? This is very problematic in the judiciary. What are the criteria we need to adopt? We, Kerala, in a slightly deviant path, we took a bold decision that we need to look at the individuals who are the users, the stakeholders, and develop applications to their satisfaction, whether it be Chief Justice, whether it be puisne judge, whether the advocate or clerks, whether it be registry officials. So we inducted 5 IT professionals and asked them to sit along with this stakeholders and users. This is how we start building applications in Kerala. That is the reason you see that visible change we could make the last 2 years. While we are creating the ecosystem, we have to keep in our mind the different users, different stakeholders. We could not achieve many of our goals for the simple reason that we ignored other stakeholders. When a senior police officer came to me and asked, "Sir, we require a videographing software of recording the statements of witnesses in the 161 statements of as provided under Criminal Procedure Code." I talked to E-Committee and said what we have to do. Of course, the statutory provisions provide for recording 161 statements. Who has to take initiative? Police officer have an idea who has to take initiative. I just passed the mantle to the E-Committee. Of course, they had to respond. These are the issues. We have a paperless court in Trivandrum, in a magistrate's court, where we can consume all the data from the police authority. But when we want to push our data to the police system, it doesn't work because it says that score and for issues. There are many issues which we need to plug in. So when we are talking about ICC initiative, we need to keep in mind the users, ultimate users of such applications. And ignoring that, we cannot develop any ICT applications and softwares. Definitely, this will bring a transparency and accountability and openness, no doubt in expedient manner. Now, two big things. I'm rushing because I have an half an hour only been allocated. There are many other speakers as well. The two big things going to happen in the judiciary is the use of blockchain. Brother Suman was yesterday discussing about blockchain, use of blockchain in artificial intelligence. What is a blockchain? See, I related to you that decently structure first, the conceptual idea. You might all heard about cryptocurrency, how it works. There is no centralized bank in the cryptocurrency. We have a centralized bank called RBI, and this RBI is a regulatory mechanism. In cryptocurrency, it works on the trust of the technology, distributed ledger technology. In every block in that is networked, and they will connect each other. And there cannot be any tampering or tinkering with whatever the data is available with the one block. Is there any tinkering or tampering, that would reflect in other network. The blockchain will bring a massive change in a judicial function. This could be the ideal of networking in all the courts in India. Today we need to apply for a certificate copy for a filing an appeal from lower court to higher court, from higher court to Supreme Court. Why do we require such a process when all can be connected to each other? When all the blocks from lawyers, the courts, superior courts and the higher courts could be connected to each other, why do we require? Since blockchain technology can bring a remarkable change in judicial function. From the bottom of the court, if a file need to move to a higher court, what you need only draft a appeal memorandum of revision and push your appeal memorandum to the higher courts, because all the data which available in the lower court would be connected to the system in higher courts. I'll explain more in this regard how this could create interlinking. We have a dashboard in Kerala for every stakeholders. This dashboard is called virtual office for everyone. What all the cases he filed, a lawyer file would be available. What all the cases been dealt by a single judge would be available in the dashboard. The dashboard itself is a virtual office for everyone, and you need not rely on the physical files. This dashboard, there is an interoperable system in the sense if there can exchange of pleadings can happen across the dashboard. If a lawyer files a case and other one is responding to the objections or counter written statement, that's also reached to him wherever he has filed a wakalat. I'll show that, I think there is a slide for that. I'll show that how the dashboard. So in dashboard, what all the copies of the order, judgments would be available. From there, you only need to click on a click of button, you file a case to higher court. This virtual office itself could be connected to each other through kind of technology, and all the trouble you take for obtaining a certificate copy would vanish. I'll show that slide later. I think it is there. I'll show the paperless court and the district judiciary. Doesn't work, sister? Video. Net name. This is a paperless court and additional Chief Judicial Magistrate in Trivandrum. Witness box so that the witness can also see it.
Number CP 4D and I don't let the signal and I down. But change the city. I don't think I Just skipping the High Court video, of course it is only video. This is a advocate's virtual office where he can all the details of his cases. The certificate copy is up, of course now we have to apply for a certificate copy, but he will receive it online. What all he need to do in the court would be available in his advocate's virtual office. This is the dashboard. So he no longer depend on this physical office of even for the clerk for that matter. I'll just check it. There is a. Well, I refer to the AAA and use. Why we require an AAA? Of course, it is a big crowd for mostly lawyers and students. We need for a, for a lot of functions, administrative functions. We now rely on assessment of officer based on the subjective criteria of individual judges concerned. But in the future, it will be more on objective criteria laid down by the norms, and AI itself could assess a performance in a particular officer, his performance while preparing ACR. Now, look at this robotic lawyer. There is one of the lawyer in practice in bankruptcy in a US firm where the robotic lawyer can be accessed on a subscription. And because it is having all the data related to case laws, statutory provisions, etc. And robotic lawyer can itself give an advice. So we reached to such a level where now you all know that what is the ChatGPT is doing. So similar kind of lawyer already exists in some of the law firms in the US, where the robotic lawyer itself can give an advice on all matters related to a particular subject. Excuse me, ask you to come. The sound.
Ask questions in natural language, the same way you would any other lawyer. ROS runs in the cloud, can be set up in seconds, and literally takes just minutes to master. All you need is an internet connection. No more wasted time on training sessions and lessons. ROS gives Todd more time to focus on his clients, which has definitely changed Todd's opinion about artificial intelligence. So join Todd and hire ROS today. Purchase a subscription at rosintelligence.com. Let ROS help you accomplish more than you ever thought humanly possible.
And imagine we integrate ChatGPT. Many youngsters might be knowing now what ChatGPT with our database. We have a lot of information in our judicial system of case laws. If you integrate ChatGPT, ChatGPT would give an answer to you, to our database. What is the position of a law? If you ask ChatGPT today, what is it to summarize Puttaswamy's case? It will be summarized within one page. So days are not far when we're going to deploy AI integrate with our judicial database. For that, what happen is that need to start with the ICT initiative. So once entire digital ecosystem is created, everyone can have an easy access to the proposition of law down, the summary of a case law, the precedents. Even my brother Suraj used to say in Brazil, they developed a software called Victor, and Victor will identify like what we identify in a substantial question of law in second appeals, etc. The Victor software would identify in Brazil it's a question of national importance, general importance. So days are not far for youngsters where you will be able to identify the case laws, and from the proposition of law that laid down, the ratio decidendi, that's most important, and the principles that laid in that judgment. Now from the blockchain to AI, we are moving to lawyers in the metaverse. Metaverse is what you all know. We might have heard Mark Zuckerberg and Microsoft are all building their own metaverse. Metaverse means beyond the universe. Today we all uses telephones, mobile, all connect each other, and we just have a different sense. In that sense, we feel that we are connected to someone. But in an era of metaverse, you will feel an experience. You will have altogether an experience of a different ambience through virtual reality and augmented reality. You want to create an ambience of a Guwahati High Court here, you will feel that ambience here, and you will feel that experience. You are now standing before the Guwahati High Court and arguing before the Chief Justice. So what do you want to experience in your life? That metaverse can create. And there are avatars. That's most interesting part of in metaverse. And one of the case law arose in US jurisdiction. One young lady's avatars was groped in that platform. So perhaps she might have felt something bad. I don't know how the case law is going to deal with such situations. But these are all reality of the future. So you don't feel need to come all the way from your place to argue a case before the Chief Justice. You can create an ambience in your place itself, and you feel that you are arguing before a Chief Justice or other judges before the Guwahati High Court, and you'll feel that experience in your office room, your chamber, etc., wherever you are located. And this is going to be another big thing for the smart contracts. What is a smart contract? The contract itself work out the remedy and grievances. This is what I said earlier in the emancipations. The system, it will emancipate instead of going for adjudication. For a simple example is this. Today when you sustain an injury in a motor accident, you have to file a claim petition before the tribunal, and tribunal will adjudicate and decide. That's what I said. It's centered around legal dogmas. But in smart contract, itself will work out. The moment accident occurs, if it's a death or a permanent injury, the system will generate what is a quantum of compensation is eligible, and insurance would directly pay to the victim or who suffered an injury in such, or whom the compensation is payable. So without there being a third-party intervention, contract itself work out. This is what I said, future of adjudication would shift from interpreting legal dogmas to emancipation. This is how this is a traditional, on the top you find the traditional contract, how it works from parties to contract, third party, then execution. But in smart contract and execution itself, it will be done through a kind of technology, through like blockchain. And there are many challenges we face in the future. That change would, it's for youngsters to think about it. Until now, we see only division among the humans, and we set right through the interpretation of the law. But future would be like a division between machine on one hand and the human on the other hand. How do you relate, how to regulate our behaviors is something unknown for us. So youngsters, your future would depend on how competent you are in addressing these issues. See how the mindset work. Just see this video.
Broder Ansgar?
What is it?
Ja, der er jeg. Ja, så bra. Ok. Ja, hei du. Hei du. Ja. Ja, hva gjelder det? Ja, det er denne her. Ja, vil du sitte? Takk. Ja. Jaha. Ja, så jeg har ikke fått gjort noen ting hele formiddagen. Okay, nei, jeg beklager at det tar tid. Altså, vi holder på å legge om til et helt nytt system, og da skal alle ha hjelp på en gang. Ja. Så du kommer ikke inn i den, eller? Nei, den bare ligger der. Ok, har du forsøkt å åpne den? Ja, åpne den? Altså, hvis det hadde vært så enkelt, så hadde jeg jo ikke tilkalt helpdesk, hadde jeg vel? Nei, det er sant. Nei. Vil du ha en kopp varmt vann? Nei, da, det skal være fort gjort. Det skal vi se. Du bare gjør der.
It's a set of people who use papers first.
Så langt kom jeg også.
When it came into a book form, he finds difficult the transition.
Ja, ok. Nei, men du skjønner at inni her, så ligger det kanskje flere 100 sider med lagret tekst. Så for å komme videre, så tar du tak i et ark, på den måten her, og så liksom blar du over på neste side sånn. Da fortsetter teksten der. Jeg blar, altså? Du blar, ja. Men når jeg skal tilbake da? Ja, da bare blar du tilbake igjen. Tar tak der, og så sånn. Der, så er du tilbake til den teksten du hadde sagt. Ikke noe ok, så den slutter der, og så fortsetter den der, ja. Ok, men når jeg skal avslutte for dagen, hva gjør jeg da? Da bare slår du sammen permene. Ja? På den måten der. Sånn. Da er den lukket, da ligger alt lagret inni der.
Altså, jeg risikerer ikke å miste noe av teksten her nå,
Nei,
altså.
alt ligger lagret inni her nå.
Ja.
Da må du i tilfelle sette fyr på hele greia. Det er kanskje lite sannsynlig. Så.
Ja, ok. Nei, men for det er noe med det at ikke sant, når du har holdt på med skriftruller,
Ja.
så tar det litt grann tid å konvertere til å bla i en bøk. Ja. Ja, det var det litt.
Det er greit.
Ja, men du, en til før du går. Jeg vil bare gå gjennom en gang til. Altså, jeg åpner sånn,
Ja, riktig.
og så, hva du kalte det?
Blar.
Jeg blar,
Ja, bla videre.
blar frem og tilbake.
Ja,
Og når,
teksten ligger der hele tiden.
ja. Og når jeg er ferdig, så bare lukker jeg den.
Ja,
Flott.
Fint det.
Kjempefint.
Ja, flott det.
Ja, men du, vent, ikke sant? Nå er den sånn igjen, nå får jeg ikke åpnet den. Nå får jeg ikke åpnet den.
Det er fra feil side. Du må åpne fra andre siden.
Så det er ikke likegyldig, det,
Ja,
altså?
du må åpne fra den siden der. Sånn. Der. Der er den åpen.
Ja vel.
Har du lest manualen, eller?
Manualen?
Jeg skal følge med som manualen som brukerveiledning. Det er sikkert den der. Der, vet du.
Å ja,
I
den,
der
ja.
står alt sammen.
Ja, men ikke sant, der har du samme problemet. Får den ikke opp. Åpnet den.
Ok, det skulle vi kanskje ha tenkt på.
So people were comfortable with the paper rolls, but again it put a book form and bound volume. He found it difficult. So see, look at the mindset of the people. We are all comfortable with the physical files. No doubt it's quite handy for us. But we may have the same mental block when we switched out to ICT. But it's quite easy once you are adapted to it. The future would look like this. There is a bridge in Honduras. When the time of construction of this bridge, everyone thought this river would move in a particular way. So they constructed bridge in such a way which was suited to that time. But never thought river would adrift and moves in a different direction. The bridge became useless as the river diverted its course. The same thing would happen to everyone like us. If we don't adapt with ourselves, with the future, the course of the time would reject us, and time will go in a different way. So don't be like this. Try to embrace the future with the technology. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Lordship, for such a delightful deliberation on the topic of change management. Change is inevitable and artificial intelligence is our future. Thank you, Lordship, for reminding us that. Now, as we end this technical session, we will take a short break here, tea break, and I request all the dignitaries and participants to reassemble here in this hall after 15 minutes. I also request Sri Ratnadev Bhattacharya, Srimati Kanchan Newar, Devashish Kashyap, and Chinmoy Borua to escort the dignitaries to the VIP lounge. And our support staff will escort and help the learned participants to they'll lead the participants to the entrance of the lobby of the hall, wherein the tea would be served. Thank you.
सभी लेके घूमते हैं सर नहीं दिस इज सरफेस
एक
and sweet potato. And we have Friday night dance nights. We put puzzles together. And I've read a lot. What have you done?
You know, for example, Michelle and I went bike riding yesterday, which was fantastic. Because it was a
We'll do some adjustment.
For your kind information, may I introduce His Lordship to this august gathering. His Lordship is the member of the Computerization Committee of the Karnataka High Court, and His Lordship has been actively involved in the development of IT infrastructure in the Karnataka Judiciary. And Lordship has also been instrumental in the transition of the Karnataka Judiciary from the conventional mode to the paperless mode to a great extent. We welcome His Lordship on the stage, and may I request His Lordship to kindly proceed with his session.
Good morning, everyone. Namaskar, Okoluke, Oprabhat. Gai hai mur bor bal lagise. Honorable Chief Justice Guwahati High Court, more hoye dhanyavad. Muk oy program loy nimantran koror bobe. Now, as Justice Mustaq said, ChatGPT. Now, this was not through ChatGPT, this was through human intervention of Justice IKEA. But there is a translation tool available for us to translate a particular statement from one language to another. That is something which is going to be available to all of us, which is already available as Google Translate, but in terms of the legal situation, judgments now are only in English, most of the High Court and the Supreme Court, the Constitutional Court judgments. The district court, some of them do write in the regional language, the mother tongue. But going forward, you will probably have judgments which are going to be translated into the local language. For example, there is I don't know how many of you are aware of this, but there is a repository. There's a repository which has been created by the committee for ESCR and all judgments of the various high courts. These judgments are available free of cost. If you go to judgments.ecourts.gov.in, you can access all judgments of the courts. So that was the introduction on that part. I'll come back to it later. It is great to be here for the 75th anniversary, the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Now, the Platinum Jubilee celebration is one celebrating the past 75 years. More importantly, I would think that this is the week or this is the time that you need to think of what the future of Guwahati High Court is going to be, the future of what the district judiciary in Guwahati or Assam with the 4 neighboring states which Guwahati High Court enjoys to be the High Court is going to be. So what you, the leaders who are sitting on the ground floor, present day leaders in the ground floor and the future leaders in the first floor will have to look at as to what is the future of Guwahati High Court and the district judiciary under the Guwahati High Court, the subordinate courts under the Guwahati High Court. Now, the time for introspection as to what has happened in the past and what you want to do in the future is what I would put across for you to consider to be part of these celebrations. Honorable Chief Justice has thought fit to have a sensitization program on ICT technologies. It is very important for this reason that we are looking at the future. Now, what we were in the past was the physical files. What we did in the past was in a different way. What will happen in the future will be in a different way. So are we ready for the future? Are we making ourselves ready, prepared? Or are we going to get ourselves prepared? The answer to the first question obviously is a no. The answer to the second question is what you do. Having said that, the judiciary from a sovereign function, it's a discharge, judgment or adjudicatory process was a sovereign function. Earlier it used to be the Raja or the Diwan or somebody who used to dispense justice, then it became centralized into a judicial system as an institution. Then it became three arms of the government, the executive, legislature, and the judiciary. Now with that happening, as Justice Mushtaq said in the earlier session, it was on the basis of authority, on the basis of legal sanction that the judgments were given their preference and respect. But today, as the Honorable Chief Justice of India says, it is justice as a service. So we are in the service. Now we are in the judiciary, in the executive. Everybody is in the service industry today. The executive, I am told there are people from the executive, there are people from the judiciary, there are future lawyers who are also here. So all of you will be in the process of service. So in this service that we are going to render, how can we use ICT tools and how do we make ourselves efficient? Now, this smartphone, now everybody has this smartphone. Why do you use this smartphone? Only because it is convenient to use this smartphone. Life has become simpler after using the smartphone. Anybody has any doubt about convenience of the smartphone? Everybody has a smartphone today. Everybody uses it for the banking transaction, Google Pay, Uber booking, to Google location for traveling from one place to the other. How many times do you use a phone for so many purposes other than the phone? It is no longer a phone. WhatsApp messages, Telegram messages, location tracking, booking of air tickets, booking of Uber or Ola, banking transactions. How many went to the bank in the last 1 year? How many of you have gone to the bank in the last 1 year? Can you raise your hands? Only one. I won't ask you why you went, but this majority of the audience has not been to a bank in the last 1 year. During our times, we used to go to the bank virtually every week or 15 days for any transaction. To deposit, we have to go to the bank. To withdraw, we have to go to the bank. To take a loan, we have to go to the bank. To do anything, you have to actually go to the bank to get it done. Without physically going, it would not happen. But today, the banking industry in the year 90s, there was a stiff opposition for digitization of the banking. The people who were working in banks said, no, don't do digitization, don't implement ICT, it will destroy our jobs, we'll lose our jobs. It will come in our way, please don't do it. There were strikes, there were bunds, so many things which happened. But today, what is the situation? Today, the number of branches which were there at that time, those branches have increased manifold. Banking has reached to each and every village. Every person virtually has an account in a bank. Every person has a debit card. Most of the people have UPI services. So the services which are available and which are used in the last 20 years have exploded manifold. Now that is what is going to happen to the judiciary. Today we are looking at disposal of cases. Disposal is one part of it. Don't get me wrong, disposal is one part of it. Disposal will keep happening. If we bring in efficiency into the system, if we bring in easier transactional processes between a litigant to a lawyer to a court and the execution process, disposal will happen. It will automatically, it is only a byproduct of this, is one of the byproducts of this. Don't be worried about disposal per se. Disposal is point number one probably. Now, if we look at the efficiency that it brings about, let me play this video for you. There are ICT technologies and technologies.
Can she see me yet?
I can.
This is pretty cool technology you got here. So let me try to. We're playing footsies. We should have done this in outer space. We could have both been sitting on like Neptune in a bubble. Hey, what have you been doing for fun?
I have not left home since March 8th.
At all?
I went to Stedman and I. We do have Friday night dance nights. We put puzzles together. And I've read a lot. What have you done?
You know, we went, for example, Michelle, game nights. Big, although sometimes I get too competitive. At least that's what Michelle says. Because she's been losing, so.
Hello, President Barack Obama.
Hey, you. How are you?
I'm so good. You're in Washington, D.C., and I'm home in Santa Barbara, but through the miracle of technology, we get to be face-to-face in the same room, and we don't even have to wear masks.
And we have a fire going, apparently.
And we have a fire going, a real one, too. I'm excited to talk to you about your extraordinary, I don't even have words for it. It's a masterful rendering of your presidency and life, a promised land. But first, I just want to ask you, what was the one word that would best describe?
Now, this is what technology did in 2021. There was Barack Obama sitting in Washington. There was Oprah Winfrey sitting in Santa Barbara, California. You saw them as if they were sitting in the same room. You saw them sitting face to face with each other, talking to each other as if they were there in the same room. Except for the green which came back once in a while, you would probably not have realized that they were not in the same room. So this is technology. This is what the world is using out there. We are not using it today, but this is something that we are going to use tomorrow. The Honorable Prime Minister of India used holographic image for his election campaigning. It is already used in India. So can we have tomorrow a situation where instead of the virtual online hearing that we are conducting, we have something like this, where a witness is going to be cross-examined, you can see the witness, you can see the entire body language. You are in the same room, it looks, you are seeing the entire person there as if he is in a court hall. Is court hall going to be a history tomorrow? Maybe yes. We may not even have court halls, we may have virtual court halls. But there is some way to go for that. What we have to do is prepare ourselves for that. What question we have to ask is, are we going to be left behind? Are we going to become dinosaurs? Is the judiciary going to be extinct because people are not going to believe and trust the judiciary? Because if we don't take the steps now, we are already late. If we don't take the steps now, then future can be a little difficult for us, though we may be cocooned in a safe environment. We need to get out of our comfort zones. We need to go out and see what is happening, embrace the technology, get efficiency in. Now, one of the things that ICT Technologies has done is e-filing. Now, for all this to work, the basic requirement is that the process, the entire process needs to be digitized. There is a digitization of legacy and there is a future. Whatever is there in the past, we have to get it digitized using scanning methodologies, which each high court, which each district court needs to do, which will happen now, because today we have a budget of 7,200 crores from the central government for the whole of the country. 7,200 crores, anybody can say how many zeros are there from the first floor? 10 zeros, followed by a 7. So that is the kind of money which is being spent on the ICT technologies by the government of India. To give you a mapping or a comparison, the first phase of e-courts was 900 crores from 2006 to 2015. The second phase was 1,600 crores from 2015 till now. The next, that is to say, in the last, how many years? 13 plus 4, 17 years, we have had only a budget of 2,500 crores. The next 4 years are going to be 7,200 crores of central funding. This is not taking into account the state funding, which I probably estimate to be another 5,000 crores. So we'll have around 12,000 crores across the country to be spent on ICT. Money is not a problem. Money never was a problem. We as judiciary, as executive, we look at whether it is to be spent, think 100 times before spending any money. Now, the thought process is spending. Now, we are not to look at spending, we have to look at investment. Are we gainfully going to invest this money? If the investment, there is no limit. Why should we not invest? Don't we invest for a refrigerator in our house? Don't we invest for a car for ourselves? Don't we invest for a smartphone? Don't we invest for a washing machine? Why do we do that? Because life becomes easier, life becomes simpler. It gives up more time and space for us. Similarly, if we are able to use ICT technology for judicial functioning, for a lawyer to address arguments, for the government servant to do his process, having an e-office at the government servant, at the bureaucracy, having an e-office and e-filing at the judiciary, having Manupatra, SCC, etc., which you already got used to, would not life become easier? Computer technology in the ICT is not something which is a demon. It is something which is a friend as long as you make use of it as a friend. Technology is a tool. Technology is a slave. It will do what it is required to be done. It is not your master. Don't be scared of it. That elephant in the room is, okay, I am not comfortable with using technology. Why should I use technology? I haven't done it till now. But that is what was there for the smartphone. Did you use it before it came? But now can you live without it? That was the situation for the car. That was the situation for the refrigerator. You never used it earlier. For a television, why do you need a LCD now? Or a UHD screen? Because it is more comfortable. Why do you need Netflix? Doordarshan was good enough. Because it is something that has made life better. The quality of life increases. ICT is to make the quality better. If you need to make it better, you need to adopt it. How do you adopt it? There are so many processes. For example, let me show you this. What we have done, simple things I'll show you. Kerala has gone way ahead of what it is, but to put it across to you in a simple way. Now, for example, this is our cause list. Screen. This is our cause list. Now, if I click on any of these hyperlink, I'll get the details of that particular case, the case status. I have the party information, I have the K.B.R information, trial appellate information, daily orders, link case, judgment, certified copy, index sheet, scrutiny, interlocutory application, document information, postal information, judicial deposits. Now these are all general, they are there. Now what we did was we integrated with the postal department. Now if I click on postal information, what it does is it queries, it has already queried, and the database from the postal department, it has fetched the data as regards that particular RP number. Now when it gets it, it is stored into our data. Now there's no question of 6 months. After 6 months, the data in the postal department has gone by, so I can't get it. Even if I have to get it in the postal department, I have to feed in the RP number, so and so, those 12 digits, and then get one by one, if there are 20 defendants, 20 times. Now what we have done is a simple thing. We just integrated with the postal department. The data is secure from there. We have RK number. If you see here, it is RK number so and so. Details, the receiver's name, addressee is SN Lokesh. It was not received, that is why it is blank. Item returned. If you look at this is item returned. Then for another respondent, respondent number 4, it was received by Sri N. Girish. Addressee is N. Girish, who is respondent number 4. File number so-and-so. This is booked at Bangalore GPO, booked on so-and-so date, destination code, tariff, letter, delivery location, destination confirmation. So item on hold, item delivery confirmed. Then another respondent, R3, same details. Then respondent number 1. So respondent number 2. At one location, we get details of all the service which has happened. It's a simple thing. One, integration with the postal department. This is part of digitization. There's a digital record available. We integrate with the postal department, it comes about. This being an example, now let's look at what are the suits which are coming up before us. Injunction suit, specific performance, partition. Most of those are the basic things, recovery of money. What are the documents coming before us on that? The sale deed, the tax paid receipt, the RTCs, mutation register. These are all public documents. If we were to integrate with the bureaucracy, with heads of those departments who may be here, if those are integrated into the judicial system, the moment a suit is filed, all those documents relating, whichever is put across, those documents could be fetched into our system. Those documents will be available. Now there's what we call the trust factor, Justice Mustaq spoke about. The trust factor is whenever something comes up before us, it is objected to by other side saying, no, this sale is bad, this is fabricated, this is a false document, general written statement for the sake of saying it is put across. Now if we are connected to the revenue department, these are the documents which can be fetched from the source, which is a trusted source. A sale deed coming from the sub-registrar's office, can anybody dispute it? An income certificate coming from the sub-registrar's office, a tax paid coming from the municipality or a municipal corporation, can anybody dispute it? It is coming from the source. Do you need an original document? Do you need a 65B for that? You don't need anything because it's coming from the source. All these documents which are available in the public domain with e-filing, it's an extension of e-filing. It comes into our system. There is no reason why it should be doubted. Now once it has come, okay, you defendant, you said this is a false document, it's come from sub-registrar, that particular, this one is not required. How much time would it save? How much time would it free for judicial work? ICJS. The police IT is digitized. We can fetch the FIR, we can fetch the charge sheet, we can fetch the charge sheet documents. Everything can come from the source. And if those documents, police IT, if somebody is here from the police, one of the problems is it is handwritten. If it's not handwritten and it is typed, everything can come as machine readable. Can we use that? The implications are many. You have a e-filing. Once the e-filing is done, you connect the things to saying this is what I want, this is what I want. Everything comes in. You say I want in a particular thing. Now there is a recognition which is AI. There are so many tools of AI which are available now. AI will do a metadata analysis of any pleading which is e-filed. It can do that. It can recognize the provision which has been quoted in that particular pleading, if it is quoted, the decisions which you want to give us a list of annexures. It can pull that from the repository and give it to us there. We are also working on something called Jiva, Judicial Assistance Software. It is like you have used Siri, you have used Google, you have used Alexa. Many of you have used it. How would it be that if you could say, Jiva, give me section 9 of the Arbitration Conciliation Act. Jiva, give me section 34 of the Civil Procedure Code. Give me section 17(8) of the Assam Land Revenue Act. Give me rule 138 of the Land Revenue Rules. You don't need a book. It will just pop up in front of you on your computer. You could, going forward, you could say, you could right now say, give me the act also. Yeah, the entire act will come up. You can ask for a particular section. I can show you a demo there, but that is 5 minutes, so I won't waste that time on that, which we are already working on and it's already in the pipeline. It can also give you, Jiva, give me the differences in section 34 of the Arbitration Conciliation Act from 1996 to 2023. So it can give you a analysis that 1996, this is what the act was, section 34 was, this became this in 2013, this became this in 2015, this became this in 2019. The differences in that provision can be put across to you. The analysis of that becomes easier. Wherever there are amendments, you could probably say, Jiva, give me Arbitration Conciliation Act as it stood in 2015. See, our problem is whenever the matter comes up before us, that particular book of 2015 is not before us. We have only 2020. If the library is a progressive library, we'll have 2023. Otherwise, we may have 2019, and that is staying there. Because it costs a lot of money to buy bare acts. How many bare acts will you buy? There's a limitation to money for those things because so many judges are there, so many copies. Library. For lawyers, can you keep all the books in your library? For the bureaucracy, can you keep those books in your institution? This is all digitized. This is all available. You can just say, give me the difference. Give me this act as on that date. It will give it to you. It's only mapping which is required to be done. Now, when we do this, would life become easier? Would life become simpler? Would we save time? If it does, why should not we do this? That is the thought I want to sow into your mind today. Because we did the tree plantation in the morning, which was for the environment. Today is for the mind now in this session. Planting the seeds in your mind as to what could be. Forget what is, what was, what could be. If that could be is determined by what you say, as I keep saying, it's the Aladdin's lamp technology. Now you have been given the Aladdin's lamp. Your wish is my command. The technology is asking you because today technology is so far ahead. It's asking you, what do you want? Bolo mere hukum mere aka. It's asking you. You ask, put across that this is what I want. And that will be given by technology. You just have to ask. Maybe it is given the next day, maybe week later, maybe 6 months later. Somebody will work. Technologists can work on it. Everything has a solution. Everything can be provided. There's no limit to it. There's absolutely no limit. If you're thinking there's a limit on what can be achieved, if you think there's a limit on what can be spent, forget about it. There's no limits. 7,200 crores plus 5,000 crores, 12,000 crores. How many zeros with 12,000? 11 zeros. That is the amount that is probably available. We need to invest. You've got a great Chief Justice now who is a go-getter, who will take it forward. There's a great time to achieve what can be done for a state which has, for a high court which has 4 states. The only high court which has 4 states under it. No, there's no other high court like that. So you can immediately have an impact. The leaders of today, you can have an impact on that many citizens from that many courts. That is the obligation which is there, is what I would say. And a man can be guilty of not doing the good that he could have done. Regrets are regret of doing or regret of not doing. Regret of not doing is greater than the regret of doing. If you do it, it fails, fine. Then otherwise, if you don't do it later, I should have done this. That keeps on eating you. So don't have those regrets. Take it forward. Do it. This is what is available today. Now I started, because of the translation part of it, that screen. I told you about the judgments. Judgments.ecourts.gov.in is a repository of all judgments. Today there are lakhs and lakhs judgments. Probably in a short period of time we'll have all judgments. Everything is getting digitized. All judgments will be available free of cost. That is the vision of the Honorable Chief Justice of India, that all judgments should be available to everybody free of cost. You don't need to pay for it. So all judgments would be available. Now if you click on this, if you go there and enter the captcha, we are live. It is not, sorry. All judgments, now there are 34,592 judgments of the Supreme Court. There is the ESCR. There are 34,000 judgments which are available to all of us. In that we have got a translation tool, translation also. We have translation in Assamese, Bengali, Garo, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Kashmiri, Kasi, Konkani, Malayalam, Marathi, Nepali, Odia, Punjabi, Tamil, Telugu and Urdu. So you have judgments in Assamese. Garo is neighboring, so Garo is also available. Some of you speak Bengali over here, Bengali is also available. So all these judgments, if you want to read, they are available in the native tongue. They will be, sorry, they are not available right now. There are only around 7,000 judgments which have been translated. Going forward, all the judgments will be translated into these languages. You will have 34,000 judgments of the Supreme Court in your own native language. If you want to understand it in your native language, you can read it in the native language and understand it. You don't need to depend on English. English is a foreign language to most of us. We think in our mother tongue, we think in Assamese, we think in Bengali, I think in Kannada. Brothers from Rajasthan, Mustaq will think in Malayalam. Each of us has our own thinking process because we think in our own mother tongue and we are able to relate to it easier. So if these judgments, now how did this happen? Artificial intelligence. The Supreme Court Vidhi Anuvadak software, which is SUAS. SUAS is an AI tool which is used for the purpose of translating an English judgment into a particular other language. This is again AI. We don't need to be scared of AI. AI is what we want it to be done. It's not a Terminator movie. It is something that is available. Do you want to use it? If you think, okay, I don't want to use technology, why do you use a car? Why do you use a smartphone? Let me take the argument to the extreme on that. These are technologies which are available. This gives the judgment in your own language. All judgments of Guwahati High Court are also available from 1994, I think, which have been digitized earlier. Now we'll be going back to 75 years of Guwahati High Court will be there. Today we are celebrating the Platinum Jubilee. Everything would be available. Would that be useful for you? Do you need to pay subscription for somebody else? Do you need to keep the books? Will it save time? Can you do a search and get it? Is it something convenient? It will be if you use it. The elephant in the room is, I don't want to use technology. Technology is something big. No, technology is not big. You're not manufacturing that car. You're not manufacturing this phone. For a manufacture of this, yes, technology is required. For use, I don't need to. Do I need to know how the smartphone is manufactured? I only need to use it. Probably your children and grandchildren or nieces and nephews know better to use, and they have never thought how to use this. It is the user interface, user experience, and intuitiveness of all this software which will come about once you start using it and asking, I want this. Once you say, I want this, that technology genie will say, yes, sir, take it, please. Use it. So going forward, now when you say this, as the Supreme Court Anuvadak Service has SUAS, that it can translate an English judgment to any language. Tomorrow, for all of you here, all the stakeholders, it's not the judiciary, lawyers, judges, it's for everybody. Tomorrow, if a criminal appeal or a criminal trial of 34 witnesses, you scan it and you put it in and make it machine readable and say, prepare a synopsis of dates and events. A detailed synopsis of date and events which will be made available, which normally we are doing now by physically going through it and making it. Human error is possible. But if we have these bounded chat GPT, which I'll be coming to, you will have the complete list of dates and events without anything being missed. There's software called NER which identifies the dates to the event. You can use that software and make it available. But that is software which we'll have to use. Now once that is done, especially in civil also, but criminal mainly so, circumstantial evidence, last seen theory. I saw this person with the deceased on that day at this time in the market. Another person says, I saw him on that road going towards the lake. Another person says, I have seen him near the lake. Now you can use AI to put this entire thing in place to give the sequence of last seen, to connect the dots, which we are doing physically. Imagine that. Would it save time? Would life become easier? Would it become more productive? Would your decision be proper without any human error? Would the investigation be proper if the police officers are here, if the lawyers can look at it and argue better? All these for different stakeholders have different meanings, but for all of them it is convenience. It is ease of use. It is something that you could make use of. Now imagine for the judiciary and the lawyers. We spend so much time, especially district judiciary, you spend so much time preparing the issues. For just drafting the issues, you have to look at the entire pleadings and entire documents also before you do that. Now if you have all the data bound there with the plain written statement, everything, what are the points in issue? You could just ask a question, what are the issues which both of them have raised? It will all come out there. Of course, that doesn't say that you use it as it is. You still have to apply your judicial mind for all these things. But this is giving you that data. It is all data. What we are dealing with is data. We call it facts. Facts are data. What is facts? It's only data. Anything that you use in the judiciary, whether it is the plain written statement, document, evidence, judgment, provisions, statutory provisions for the bureaucracy and as also the lawyers, it is only data. A courtroom is full of data. How do we make use of this data? We may call ourselves as evidence, facts, etc. But if you boil it down, it is only data. And data analysis is best done by these kind of software which could aid us. It doesn't replace us, but it could aid us in making use of it. If these data are given, why should it take so much time for disposal? If as soon as the pleadings are completed and they are fed in, you get issues in 2 minutes, which you can go through and finalize it in probably 2 hours. Does it take 1 year for issues to be framed? Will we stop that 1 year? If we integrate with Postal Department service, takes 1 year. Can we stop that? Out of 4 crore 36 lakh cases that are pending, 1 crore 41 lakhs are pending for service and appearance. Can we avoid that? Can we close that loop? These disputed documents, if we get it from the source, can we close that issue? If we get this analysis of evidence, would it be easier that this analysis is there? Look, Mr. Counsel for the prosecution, the counsel for the defense, this is what the analysis is, this is generated dates and events, go through it and say if there's any problem. Would that become faster, efficient, better? These are the things which are available. These are the things that we need to introspect today after 75 years of Guwahati High Court as to what the next, not next 75 years, what the next 75 months are going to be. We'll have to speak of 75 months, not 75 years now, because technology will keep changing, life keeps progressing, and these are the things which are available in the public domain. Everybody else is using it. Everybody else is using it. Why not we? You saw the ad about ROS. ROS is a software which has been developed by IBM. This is a software being used by the US firms for the purpose of analysis. It's already being used. ROS version 3 is there out there now. ROS has been there for last 4 years. There's Watson, which has been there for 5 years. There's so many software which is available there, because even in the legal field in the Western countries, they are being used. We are not aware of it. We did not know about it. Now we are aware of it. We have to start using that. Now, one of the issues that came up is ChatGPT. Somebody else was also asking me about ChatGPT. Anybody use ChatGPT? Raise your hands, please. Good to see the future generation using it. Good to see. So how did you like it? Was it easy to use? Did it answer what you wanted? Can we try out now live? Now this is the ChatGPT interface. Anybody has any questions that you want me to ask? Yes, please.
Sir, when you use the ChatGPT, or when you put a query, say, accused was naked in front of a minor child. Is it punishable under POCSO? Analyze with Indian case law.
Hello?
ChatGPT will give you an analysis saying that AI will not be very helpful in legal analysis. And they will also give you citations with case law. But when you look into the name of the party and the year of the citation, you will find that it is all wrong.
Now, the ChatGPT cannot be used for specific. I'm not saying ChatGPT can be used today. ChatGPT is a public domain which has 175 petabytes of data of public domain. It's like a Google Documents, all the things which are available in the general domain. It's not a specific domain. It won't give you specific answers like what you want to ask. If you ask general questions, for example, just Mustaq said, put summary judgment summarization. Let us ask if it can do that. So it comes out. The Justice Putswamy judgment, also known as the Aadhaar judgment, was a landmark ruling by the Supreme Court of India in 2018. The case concerned the constitutionality of the Aadhaar program, a government initiative that required Indian citizens to provide biometric data in order to receive certain government services, etc., etc. These are general. Now what it will give you is this general summarization. It won't give you specific, because today we don't have the data from the judicial sphere or from the legal sphere which are bounded into that. Now it is unbounded data which is available there in terms of all and every data. It could be a newspaper clipping, it could be an article written by you taking a particular stand, your neighbor could have taken another particular stand, both of them are available. So that kind of a situation will not lead to a proper answer. But what I am putting across to you is this particular ChatGPT 3.5 which I am showing you, there's a ChatGPT 4 and now 4.5 is also expected. Once that comes about, the data of the judiciary, all the Supreme Court judgments, can be fed into it. All the judgments of the Guwahati High Court could be fed into it. For Guwahati, you need only Supreme Court and Guwahati, right? Other judgments are persuasive. So if you have these judgments, then you could query it insofar as the Guwahati case before you is concerned. The district judiciary or the High Court, it has to be bounded. If it is unbounded, this is a general, this one. Scientific is 2 plus 2 equal to 4. But if you look at us, 2 plus 2 could be 22. 2 or 2, 5. It could be anything that is interpreted on that. So that interpretation has to be a completely set by boundaries. If we have boundaries in terms of only the Supreme Court judgments, not going beyond it, then we'll only be referring to Supreme Court judgment. Of course, there are various other things. Even Guwahati High Court will have that, because there will be one single judge judgment which says something else, another single judge judgment saying something else, which is the precedent, law of precedence will apply. Those are aspects that we have to cross. We will have to look at it. What I am putting it across to you is, can we start thinking of it? Can we start looking at it? There will be problems. There will be exceptions. Can exceptions become the rule? Can exceptions make the generality? No. Generality will have to look at it, and exceptions will have to be answered as and when those exceptions come about. So if we look at it this way, if we look at digitizing, if we look at machine readable, if we have the pleadings which are machine readable, when will that be? If we digitize the past records, if we make e-filing compulsory and all of us adapt to it. E-filing is going to be crucial. Don't be left behind. A person who is going to use e-filing will make his life simpler. He will make time for himself to do many other things. That could be even filing more, or going and playing a game of golf. It could, or going and watching a movie. It could be anything. But what it will do is, somebody else who uses this will be in a better position than a person who is not using it. So you want to be in a better position or a worse position, you will have to decide. As lawyers, e-filing. As judges, insist on e-filing so that it frees up your time. As bureaucracy, all government officers should compulsorily e-file. There should not be an option. I don't know if in Gauhati and Assam, e-office has been implemented at all the bureaucratic level in all departments. But if e-office is implemented and you have e-filing and they are integrated. For example, what we have done in Karnataka is in some matter that came up before me, there were a lot of excuses which were put across by the government saying we did not have this, we did not have this. Objections were not filed for some 4 years. Then finally in some time, again some other excuse was given. So the officer was there that day, my predecessor had summoned him, he said this is the problem. So what I had done in that matter was I issued directions saying that should not a system be set up for connecting with the High Court. So what we did was, a registration mechanism that the government, that particular department could register with the High Court with an email ID and a phone number. So with the email ID, when any order is passed in that particular matter, that order will automatically get transmitted to that particular government department. If a judgment is passed, that judgment will get automatically transmitted. Anything that happens in that case, daily order, order on IA, order judgment, whatever happens, will go by email. Then the Chief Secretary, it was apparently brought to the notice of the Chief Secretary. Chief Secretary said, she issued a circular saying that all departments register. Within 1 week, we are flooded. We got 1,200 applications. All deputy commissioners, all chief executive officers, all tahsildars, all assistant commissioners, all secretaries, principal secretaries, government departments, industrial area development board, development authorities, municipal corporations, municipalities. Everybody made an application. Everybody's application has been processed, more or less everybody's application has been processed now. And all the government departments are getting their orders in their particular matter transmitted to him real time. As soon as it is uploaded on our website, it goes to them. It is available with you. Why contempt? Because the order is there now. Earlier it is, I did not, I did not know about the order, the defense in a contempt. Now the order is there. It can be implemented immediately because knowledge is there. Knowledge is all powerful. Knowledge is the issue always coming in the way because we did not have it. We are relying on paper. The paper trail takes a long time for it to flow from the court to the government advocate who has to apply for a certified copy, get the certified copy, enclose it, send it to that caseworker. Caseworker puts into file, and then it goes up all the way to that head of the department. But when a contempt comes, it is against the head of the department, not the caseworker. So head of the department immediately knows this. Now what the government did was they had a CCNS platform which they have developed for their own bureaucracy. Now they integrated this with the CCNS platform that all this data gets absorbed or consumed into their platform, and that is integrated into e-office which is established. So all the people who are concerned with that file know about the orders passed by the court. Simple. How long did it take? Not much. How many people got the benefit of it? Huge. These are all simple technologies which are there. This is not complicated. The thought of technology for us many a times technology is complicated. Please don't even think about it. Technology is very simple. Technology development will be done by technologies. That is an engineer. You are only a user. Before Manu Patra and SEC came up, how were you doing your research? Just Mustaq mentioned about it, that you went to a senior told you what it is, then you went up, looked up the Quinquennial Digest or 50-year Digest or SEC this one, then found out what it is, tried to trace out if this judgment has been upheld, distinguished, etc. You had a book where citation tracer, all that we have done during our lifetime. Many of you upstairs, you haven't done that. We have suffered through it. For one research to be completed, we have spent days together to do that research. Days together. What you are able to do today using SEC and say, is it referred, distinguished, everything comes there, RD, everything comes there. You are able to generate it in 5 minutes. We used to take 5 days. That is the productivity which has come about by that. So, do you know how SEC has done it? You don't know, right? You don't care. As long as it is available to me, I am using it, it's fine. How is it developed? Technology behind it is not required for me to know. How is that screen projecting there? I don't need to know. I need to only see the screen. I don't need to know how this mic works and how this sound box works. You need to only hear me speak. That's all. We are not on the background technology of how it is done, but we are on how it can be used. Just focus on how it can be used, not on how it is done. That step forward itself is quite a bit. And then start using it. You will reap the benefit. I'm not saying use it. I'm not forcing a technology on you. If it is good, you will use it. If it's not good, you won't use it. But give that technology a chance. Use it. Use that pressure cooker. If you don't use a pressure cooker, you'll have to go back to, what we used to use. You had handi and you have to put firewood, everything and do it. We'll go back to that. We'll go back to a bullock cart, then your car. We'll go back to a no telephone era. Forget rotary telephone. We'll go back to a no telephone era than the smartphone. Use this. Once you use it, it becomes easier. Anybody else has any question that I can ask ChatGPT for you to show what it is? Yes, please. Yes, please.
You have talked about ChatGPT and all. It's fine. But don't you think that our judges are spending most of the time correcting the typographical mistake, grammatical mistake?
Very good. 1,000. Absolutely. We have to do that. That is what the training is about. That is what the Train the Trainer program is about. That is what the CIS Master Trainer program is all about. You have been invited to be part of it. Have you volunteered for it? Did you take the training? Did you participate in the Train the Trainer program? There are Train the Trainer programs which are being conducted every day. There is a Telegram channel called E-Committee where even the videos of Train the Trainers are posted. You can watch the videos and learn it. All those are available. Is it so difficult for you to learn typing by using 10 fingers that somebody has to teach you? Is it that difficult for you? See, there are people who are comfortable with using 2 fingers and 3 fingers and who can type faster. That is left to them. Now, if you want to use 10 fingers, nobody is stopping you from using 10 fingers. So please use the 10 fingers. Learn typing. There are this one which are available. And coming to transcription, that is a very good thing that you raised. Insofar as teaching oneself how to do things, I don't think E-Committee needs to look at how to teach judges how to type. Forgive me for saying so, but I don't think that is the job of the E-Committee to teach a judge how to type. You have to learn it. That's something that can't be done by E-Committee. That is too down the drain for anybody to do that. Transcription, you have an important point. Now we are looking at transcription. Transcription, for example, I don't know how many of you saw the transcription which happened of a live case of the Constitutional Bench of the Supreme Court, which used Perez, and immediately on the evening itself, the entire transcript of the proceedings came out. You might have read. If you have not read, please look it up on Live Law or Bar and Bench. If you are not subscribed to Live Law and Bar and Bench, please subscribe to it. You will get it. These are the tools which are available. Now, transcription is something that we earlier used to use Dragon Dictate, which was on accent, etc., which was not working fine. Now we have AI. AI-based, we could have the transcription, which can happen real time. The captioning, which can happen real time. That will be available very shortly. We are trying to integrate that. Transcription will be available. Kerala is also in the other video that did not play of Kerala, the High Court video. If that video had played, you would have seen the High Court judge using the dashboard, dictating and it getting transcribed at the same time. We can even have transcription in terms of translation and transcription, which is also being worked on. That you dictate in English and it translates and transcribes in Assamese. That is also available. You can have a situation where the evidence which is recorded or the order which is dictated, we are working on that. The order which is dictated is recorded in a voice form, it is transcribed, and both the things are available. The secretary can hear the transcription, the voice, and correct the transcription. It saves time. That's an absolutely important thing. These are the basic requirements. Transcription, translation, e-filing, these are the basic requirements that will come about. Yes, please.
Good afternoon, Your Lordship. Is the Supreme Court thinking about an Indian indigenous AI dedicated for law, like in US, Your Lordship has talked about Ross and Watson. Is the Supreme Court thinking about that in terms of...
I can't answer for the Supreme Court, sorry. But what I can answer is there is a AI committee which has been set up at the Supreme Court. The AI committee is looking into all that. What I can also answer is that the Information Technology Department has set up a separate wing for AI, and they have set up, I'm not recollecting the name of it, but there will be a AI ecosystem which is being set up by the government, because AI is a very expensive proposition. You need people with that kind of expertise. There's the ecosystem which is being set up for all governmental departments, which could also be used by the judiciary and lawyers. It's an open system which can be used by everybody. That is under this one. Now, Center of Excellence. I think I have overshot my time probably. So we will have the discussion later, so those questions could be reserved. Thank you. I hope, my thought was only to sow a seed. Hope this seed has been sown. And I expect that it germinates into a nice, beautiful tree with a lot of flowers and fruits, etc. Thank you.
Thank you, Lordship, for such a wonderful deliberation and presentation. You have enlightened us how interlinking different departments with judiciary through digital mode and with the help of technology like e-office can enhance justice delivery system. Thank you, Lordship. For this third session on paperless courts, advantages, challenges, solutions, and way forward, now may we request Honorable Mr. Justice Vinit Kumar Mathur, Honorable Dr. Justice Pushpendra Singh Bhati, judges of Honorable Rajasthan High Court, to take their seats on the dais, and I request Debashish Kashyap to kindly escort the lordships to the dais. Rajasthan Judiciary has been extensively using and upgrading IT infrastructure for dispensation of justice under the able guidance and vision of their lordships. Lordships are relentlessly striving for a future judiciary which is easily accessible to all through the use of information technology tools. I request Honorable Lordships to kindly start their sessions.
All the respected dear brothers and sisters, judges, except one, of course. I can't say sister judge, Dr. Nupur Bhatti. Stakeholders, students, judges of all courts, administration, and all who are here. Me and my brother, Justice Vinit Mathur, were given a task which was like to show you the picture of Rajasthan High Court, and that's what we are going to do within a very short time. Will not take much time. And before I begin, I must say that was what Justice Shyam told us, that idea is here and time has arrived. So the idea is here and the time has arrived, so we all have to really wake up to it. And if I put it this way, it should be, particularly for the balcony part of the audience, the students, when the winds of the change flow, something like a storm of change, then there will be two sets of people. As Justice Mustaq and Justice Govindraj has said, there will be two sets of people. One will be building walls to resist the change, and another will be building windmills. So can I ask you, the students, will you be making walls to the change, or you will like to make the windmills? Of course, most of the youngsters would answer that we would like to make windmills so that we can create energy, we can create progress, we can be pragmatic, and so on and so. I often get reminded of the famous words of Justice Krishna Iyer. He said about democracy, and I am saying about today. He said that to the Constitution, the citizen of India is not a passenger, but is a crew. And I use the same words for you, all of you today, because all of you are not passengers in the bus of technology. You are not the passenger. You are the crew. You have to take it ahead, all of us. When I say you, it includes me. I must congratulate the Guwahati High Court for this wonderful sensitization program. Me and Vineet ji and Kuldeep ji and Nupur ji have decided as soon as we go back to Rajasthan, we are going to do first of its kind of this kind of program where all the stakeholders are there and then sensitization is there. We are doing it for judges. West Zone is there. We are doing it regularly. We are training our judges. We are training ourselves. But we are not training all the stakeholders. I am so happy. I must congratulate Honorable Chief Justice Sandeep Mehta Sahab. What a wonderful idea. First time in my 33 years in a legal panorama, first time I see all the stakeholders amongst the audience. The students are there, the judges are here, the administration is here, and everybody is here. I have never seen such an idea anywhere in the country, traveled so much where all these stakeholders are there together. I congratulate you on this 75th year. What a wonderful way you have begun. And we must all in Kerala, Karnataka and Rajasthan, I am sure they must be doing it, but in Rajasthan we'll try to do it. Now straight away coming back to the topic. One more question before I proceed with the topic to the balcony. There are three sets of soldiers. One set is carrying the sword, another set is carrying the guns, and another is carrying the technology with GPS system, night radars, night glasses, super guns and all that. Which soldiers are you going to choose to protect yourself? Answer cannot be sword. Answer cannot be gun. The answer has to be technology. The soldier with maximum technology. Why? One word. Force multiplier. We have to create force multipliers. And in this legal system, in this ecosystem, in which administrators, executive, judges, lawyers, government lawyers, all are a part, this super system has to be created, this ecosystem has to be created, this energy has to be infused, and it is only through these kind of training programs that we can do it. And then all of us who are the crew can act as ambassadors, go to our constituency, whatever it is, students can go to their constituency, judges to theirs, administrators to theirs, and then train it. This is 3-4 minutes preclude. Now I immediately come to what Rajasthan High Court is doing, and what will be done will be dealt with my brother. Can you please put on the screen? So a quick, only about 8-9 minutes how the High Court is going. In 2019, we took a full court resolution that we are going to run e-courts. Some innovative ways, some innovative things for you to ponder about. Yes, so we have gone, my court is paperless for about last 3 years, and I'll show you how we are progressing. This High Court has given us, like what Suraj Saab has said is correct. How it is created, I am not bothered and I don't know even. But I know it, that here is a High Court has given me a screen in front of my court when I hold my court in the court. This is the screen which is coming. A very simple case information system has been introduced. It is so user friendly. I log in there, the passwords and all is used, everything is told, and the process begins. And there is a very simple system. I put the date, I put my court number, I put the whether it is a supplementary cause list, main list, I put the case number, all the 400 cases that are listed before me, average it is 350, 400 cases listed before each one of us every day. So as soon as all those 400 cases come ahead of us, even if somebody is mentioning, if somebody is mentioning 397 number case, I need not wait for the courtmaster to just go into panic and search for a file at that number. I just need to scroll it down and take it to 397 and open the files. It is a very simple system which is operating. And once it starts operating, the simple details are given. It is a very user-friendly interface, absolutely convenient for a person, even as ordinary person as like me. And then as it proceeds further, you can see the list is open. There are 3 blocks which you can see on the right flank, and on the left flank the case details and all are there. These blocks are very easy to operate, just like we operate our mobile phone, as simple as that. When I click the first block, the pleadings come in. The main file is opened. The concrete pleadings are there. Everything, reply and all annexures and everything is there. When I go to the second part, I mean when I again click it, you would see on the left flank please note, on the left flank, we have bookmarks. So if the lawyer, some lawyer will come and say, please open page number 793, it will take 1 second. Or if he says, please open annexure 5 or annexure 18, I have to just click the bookmark and I go there. So how easy it has made my life. Otherwise, scrolling through the file of 700 pages, 400 pages, 500 pages, I'm sure our brothers at the district level would also be having huge records. So directly going at the page number or directly going to the bookmark, it has really made the life very easy, and I must share it in those terms. So these bookmarks, you can increase it also. We have 20 odd bookmarks, but anybody who's using technology is prepared to give you the answer if you need more. Then once the second block is there, second block is pertaining to order sheets. The order sheets are given in the second block. Second block gives you the complete order sheet of that case. So there are, suppose, sorry, but I hope I was audible. So that's how it goes. So that is very easy. The pleadings on one side. In this interface, the pleading is in the first block with all bookmarks. Second block, you see this block. Second is the order sheets. Third is the notepad. I don't know why it is not showing. There is a fourth block which is also there on my screen there. That fourth block is for tagged files. So if there are 15 tagged matters, suppose in a bail there are 8 more bail matters which are connected, then automatically those all 8 cases, tagged cases would be there. And it will be operating on a similar procedure with order sheets, previous orders and everything. That really makes it so easy. You can imagine the bookmark, index, everything at a click. Apart from this, we have CIS 1.0 operating. We have all certified copies, cause list is generated, and all. We are not as forward as those courts of my brothers, but we are doing it somehow, and I'm very happy about it because it has really made it very convenient. We have this one unique pagination. What I used to see as a judge for last 7th year running, that struggling with the different pagination. Respondent number 1 will come with a different pagination, 2 with a different, 3 with a different. Now we have a special pagination program which has been given by the technology. This program gives you continuous pagination, makes it very easy for the judges. No struggle at all. You simply, whatever respondent is coming, you come to that pagination. We have shared it with other high courts also, and they have also appreciated this program. Not that we have created, our team has created. Now the peripheral utility programs and all are there. E-filing. E-filing is now, we are doing it in 18 subjects. And as Justice Suraj has just said, we have made it compulsory for Government of Rajasthan from 1st January 2023. And we have also made it compulsory in some other fields from January 1st, 2022. Now, yesterday I told my lawyers in my court that if you e-file up to 10:30 a.m. in the morning, we will hear you at 2 o'clock the same fresh matter. So now they are all very enthusiastic about it, and probably they will do more e-filing because automatically a case will reach only after 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, but it is coming early. So e-filing, we are doing it now. This is all scanning and all, we all are doing, it's basic. And we have our own app in the mobile for all lawyers, all stakeholders, all judges. It is perfectly working. It is giving you every information about a case, date, everything. All of you know it, you have seen it, I will not repeat it. We have this you must see. The bench of Honorable Chief Justice Sandeep Mehta Sahab and Honorable Justice Kuldeep Mathur Sahab, they have brought us a new system. Just now we were talking about integrating postal department and others. So we have integrated prisons. So now every prisoner, how long is inside, how many paroles he has taken, what is the total time of arrest, what is the total time in jail, etc. Every detail is there. And thanks to the division bench order, now we have completely integrated. Now this e-prison software is, though it is still building up, but it has given a wonderful tool to the lawyers and judges, because now you don't wait for a report from the jail for months and months. You immediately click and you get the answer. Then we have this e-prisons in Rajasthan. The division bench has given birth to it. And then we have, I saw that you are also live streaming, though we are not live streaming. I saw Chief Justice and Justice Shyam doing it. And that's wonderful. I think we all can go for it very easily without any side effects like cost or all. And we have online payment systems. I'm sure Guwahati High Court is also having. E-grass system is also functional. Then we have a wonderful website which gives every detail. I'm sure almost all high courts are having it, but ours is an exhaustive one, including all judgments, all reported judgments, all segregated judgments. Everything is there. Topic-wise search is also there. Then I also take you to we have a peculiar separate system for commercial courts in Rajasthan, and it is also operating very well, because giving same significance to the commercial courts was important to fast forward it. We have an e-pass system, like clients coming from outside and applying for pass, standing in the CISF counter, standing at the police counter. Now they can generate their e-pass. These are the things we are already doing. We have a provision for urgent listing. Some lawyers requires urgent listing. He needs to give the reason. The urgent listing application comes in the system and it is dealt with, and appropriate listing is done. So this is making, I see the life becoming so much easier. We have a separate mode for reportable judgments. We have eCourts app, which is there on various platforms, Android, iOS, Apple, everywhere it is there. We have Rajasthan High Court is yet to start it, but I have started in my court with the permission of the Chief Justice, because I saw Guwahati High Court was also doing it. I consulted Justice Suraj, and this is a Telegram e-board which we have started on Telegram channel, in which complete information regarding the court, the number, the supplementary, the timings, the defects, the notices unserved, and all that peripheral information is there for all the stakeholders. You have to just put the QR code, and you are part of the Telegram channel. Here's the QR code. You just put it. It is just outside like a e-notice board with no consequences, probably facilitating all stakeholders. We have a justice clock. It is interesting because old cases and all it becomes very easy to deal with. We have this Telegram channel. We did it only last week. I think broadly it is done. And I must say, I am an ordinary technology user. I don't develop technology, and I am not specialist in that. My field is law. I know my restrictions. But I feel that what Justice Suraj and Justice Mustaq have told us needs to be done. Honestly, I think it has made my life as a judge much more easier, much more accurate, much more precise. And I'm sure that when we start doing it, we get better ideas. And I'm sure as and when we get better ideas, we will come to that. Thank you so much, Guwahati, for congratulations on your 75th year. Wonderful afternoon. And thank you for permitting us to come here and share with you what we have been trying to do for the last 3 years and what we are likely to do. Over to Justice Mathur.
Khamagani, and a very good afternoon to the August gathering. After Justice Mushtaq and after Justice Suraj has deliberated on ICT, very little was left for both of us to apprise you on the subject. But since all other high courts, including Rajasthan High Court and the Guwahati High Court, are in the transition phase of the development, so I'll only impress upon all of you that we are not technology savvy and experts, but we have to understand the niceties, the technology which has given us this opportunity to move forward and faster than what we were doing in the good old days. The presentation which Justice Mushtaq has just said, that it started from reading of the books to the era which we are entering today. We all, I mean, as lawyers, when we had joined the chambers of our senior, there used to be those Supreme Court volumes, yearly volumes, and for if our senior was to ask us to give us a judgment on, say, on seniority, those thick volumes, big volumes, after consumption of the nights when we were going in the morning with couple of judgments to our senior, he will very conveniently say, no, this is not exactly matching that what I wanted. And the era has come when I believe when there are no books of those kinds, of going through those voluminous judgments. So the time has come when you must know the ideas to get the things faster. And this conference which has been convened today is basically to apprise us for using these tools. Much has been said by Justice Mushtaq and Justice Suraj and Justice Bhati for what we have been doing in the Rajasthan High Court. We are rather adopting the technologies which are now the E-Committee of the India has formulated. We have been using different tools to make things easier and faster. Friends, I'll impress upon even the judicial officers and the community of lawyers, we are resisting to it, because myself was not a very techni-savvy lawyer and a judge, as my brother Justice Bhati is and Justice Nupur is there, because they have been using these tools right from beginning, right from very inception. But as everybody is thinking that, no, if things are going on well, why should I get into something which is so cumbersome? But let me tell you very frankly, this is just a barrier of our mind. Once we start using it, it becomes so easy for us that it gives us time to do lot many things. As Justice Suraj has rightly said, that I complete my filing and then I go to golf club. Yes, it is true. Initially it takes time to get into those grooves, but once we start using it, it becomes very fast than the manual filing and everything. I'll deliberate upon only 10 things which the Rajasthan High Court has started doing it or is in the process of doing it, because very soon we'll be putting that to use. The first is the live streaming of our proceedings, because live streaming of proceedings is not very something which is required to use very sensitive tools. Today we are using this VC. In the Corona times, we were allowing the VC to be addressed in the courts, and the lawyers were addressing us from their homes. So the same gadgets, the same tools can be utilized for live streaming, and that will lessen the burden on the court's entries, and the lawyers only will be available in the courtrooms, because rest of them can see the proceedings from their home. The e-filing, which probably we are using today, presently we are using 1010. The presently we are using because our e-committee is developing 30, and that will enhance the proficiency multifold. So once we start using the 3.0 technology, 3.0 technology, which is in contemplation, I believe, anytime, and that will fast track the things which are being processed in today's day. Then e-office, we are in the phase of developing e-office. So e-office will rather will be in a very simplified form. The Rajasthan High Court will be using this e-office for the purpose of movement of the files. Lot of file movement is there in the offices, in the district courts as well as in the high courts. And once we use this e-office, then entire file movement will be reduced, because one file has to move from the desk to desk with the small notings on the in the persons who are related in the hierarchy, and that will absolutely curtail, absolutely stop the file movement. Once the file is generated from one desk to another, it will just go on adding the person's signatures or notes on that, and it will end finally at a place where the person is required to take a final call in the matter. So e-filing will curtail the file movements of the departments, and eventually if the e-filing, e-offices come into play in the full swing, it will reduce the file movement from considerably. Then we are in the process of utilizing and launching e-RTI portal. Nowadays the e-applications, I believe in all high courts, is pending consideration in huge number. And once we are starting the e-RTI portal, then probably it will be much faster. Today in Rajasthan High Court we are at least having 10 officers and 10 number of staff which are utilizing the time consumption process of giving the informations and deciding their applications and putting everything on their final call on their webs. So once we start this e-RTI portal, then probably the flow of applications and the flow of information which will be much faster. Then we are in the process of developing e-portal for family court of the Rajasthan. That what my learned brother has said, that we are already utilizing the services for the commercial courts. That has got complete information. And likewise in the family courts also, we will be having complete information with respect to the provisions of law, what kind of methodology one can approach, one can use, what is the time actually the filing of the application, and where are the counseling and mediation centers available, what is recourse available to a person. All those complete information will be there as far as the family courts are concerned. Then we are utilizing or in the process of making web portal for the Juvenile Justice Committee of the Rajasthan High Court. That will again give the complete information with respect to the juvenile justice is concerned. Entire thing will be on portal, entire information will be there with respect to the monitoring of the child in need and child in care of the state of Rajasthan, and the persons who are in the need of care. Their entire information, including the centers and the methodology and the procedure which is prescribed, will be available on this portal. Then the next portal we are developing is of the e-statements. E-statements will be there for the purpose of our technical team is developing the monthly and quarterly reports which we are receiving from the trial courts. A lot of file movement is there again. Lot of things are moving from monthly reports to quarterly reports to their generation of their disposal, where the cases of 5 years and 10 years are pending, what process the district judges are taking care of getting their disposal monthly. And likewise there are a lot of file movements as far as the insemination of dispensation of justice being done from the lower courts to the high courts. That will be completely done on these e-statements, and the file movements will be curtailed to nil, literally nil. Then there is one more thing which we are in the process of doing, is that is annual confidential reports. Every officer has to supply their datas, and those datas will have to be transmitted to the higher officers and virtually to the High Court thereafter. So that annual confidential reports will be put in of course they'll be giving a their code, and the defense system will be completely in process, so no information is leaked, and the ways and means to curtail the sabotages which is likely to be done, because in annual confidential reports we are required to give lot of checks and balances, and we are in the process of doing it, developing it, so that the information which is supplied by the officer concerned reaches in the most confidential manner. Then we are starting virtual e-Seva Kendra, because that will be the place where entire thing which we are manually doing today, starting from case status to cause list to judgments and orders, we will get a complete portal established for the purpose, and the person who is the end user of this will get the entire thing in one window. And once that is in operation, you just click a button and you will have the e-passes to the case status to cause list to name of the and the status of the case, what the stage of my case is. Then national service and tracking of electronic process. That is the most important thing which I'll impress upon everybody to follow, because lot of things have been said by my predecessors as far as the pendency of the cases are concerned. We are already using it to a greater extent, but now we are upgrading it, that the summons which are issued and the process, it is the most time consuming thing for a court, even for the High Court and the trial court. At the stroke of button, once the summons are issued, it will reach up to the end user, and the person will get the information, the digitalized signatures and the report, including the navigation facility, that if a person is located, because I don't know what the process server in the Assam is called, but the process server in Rajasthan, we have given mobile phones, and the moment it is generated, the summons are generated, it will straight away go to that process server, and the process server of each area which is located in the taluka concerned will go to that person and get the notices served. And if we get this successfully done, then I am of the opinion that lot of things which are moving today, the lot of cases which are listed for the each courts, maybe it is High Court or maybe it is trial court, the summons will be issued and immediately the service is done. Then the lot of pendency matters will be curtailed, lot of work will be saved for us for getting all those things done. And the last thing is which we are developing today is the online certified copies of orders of the Rajasthan High Court. We are in the process of doing it. We are doing it to a greater extent, but we are developing a mechanism where it can be filed online. Nobody has to file an application. Today we are taking applications and giving the orders online. We are in the process of development where we will take the copies online and will give the judgments online. So it is halfway done, because now today we are taking physical copies and giving copies of the judgments and orders online. We are in the process of doing it. Probably in very short time we will be entertaining the applications for giving the orders and the judgments online, and will be giving it to the consumer from wherever he is. If he has to log in and just give the requisite payments and the fees and everything, after disclosing their identity, of course the safety mechanism is being undertaken by our technical team. So all those things which are possible giving the copies online is almost our technical team has finalized all those things, and we are in the process of developing this online certified copies virtually at the click of the button. One thing which I would like to share, which our advocates very frequently and very efficiently using today, is the liquid test app. they have developed. And for the younger generation of the bar, which is very fantastic app which has come, I will advise all the younger generations of the bar to make the seniors also techno-savvy of this particular liquid test app, because this liquid text app is giving you virtually the office, which is while you are coming to the court, you are carrying in a notebook, your entire office is carried with you. The moment you push the button and the file is there, and in the file, if you just push the button, the judgments and the citations which once we used to carry the books in the bag, and if 82 Supreme Court is to be cited before the judge, you have to just tell your junior to get the book and everything. So now this particular app which has come into play, it is very simple to operate. On the click of the button, you get the case file. On the click of the button, you get the judgment and the text itself. So, friends, today we are into the era where we have to, by force, learn this. And let me tell you, once you are utilizing it, once you are using it, you will feel that why we have not used and utilized it at the earliest point of time. The only thing I can imbibe in all of you is to get into this as fast as you can, and break the barriers of this mind, that getting into change of this using user-friendly apps which are being created by our technical teams and the E-Committee of the Supreme Court. They are going to make our life very easy, very simple, and you will have better times for doing wonderful things in life, except including the professional things which we are doing, which we are overburdened day to day. And connection and the connecting things which the entire information which is being gathered in the National Judicial Data Grid, which is in the process of development. Once we are connected to that, probably each and everything which is going in the courts of Kerala or in Rajasthan or in Assam, that will be available to us. It will be a pool from where you can get the information, whatever you need and whatever is useful to you. Thank you once again for calling us and for giving us this opportunity and to be a part of this function. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, Lordships, for sharing your experiences from your home state. Now for the next session, may I request Dr. Parvinder Singh Arora, Member Project Management E-Committee, Supreme Court of India, to please come to the dais. Dr. Parvinder Singh Arora is an officer in the cadre of District Judge from the state of Himachal Pradesh. Sir is an IT expert and also a Master Trainer Judicial Officer currently attached with the E-Committee of the Supreme Court of India. May I request Sir to please start with his session.
A very good afternoon, honorable dignitaries, legal members from the bar, government officers, and law students. It's indeed a great privilege for me to be part of this sensitization program, which is being held during the Platinum Jubilee celebration of the Guwahati High Court. The E-Committee started the ICT introduction in the courts, primarily for the district courts. The first phase of the project was focused primarily for the district courts, and in the second phase, infrastructure for the high courts was also provisioned. And the software development for providing services was also initiated, primarily with the focus to provide the information to the consumer of the justice, that is the litigant. So the primary focus was to provide citizen-centric services to the litigants. And the system kept on evolving. The other softwares which are required to be used by the other stakeholders, maybe it is the lawyers or the government departments, those softwares are also being developed separately and rolled out. E-filing is one of the software which is provisioned for filing of the cases by the lawyers or even by the institutional litigants. The several papers in support of the case are to be submitted by the advocates or the litigants in the court. These legal papers can be in the form of pleadings, plaints, written statements or documents. All these papers are submitted by physically visiting the courts, and oath is administered to the litigant who submits these documents. Now, prior to the submission of the pleadings, the litigant or the client is also required to brief the advocate, so that advocate may draft the pleadings, signing of the pleadings by the clients. That requires their visit to the advocate's office, and also for the payment of the court fee, the client has to visit the advocate or the court. All these aspects require more of the efforts when the client, advocate and the courts in which the case is to be filed are located in geographically different areas. The e-filing system is a complete end-to-end solution developed for online filing of the cases. Both civil and criminal cases can be filed before any high court and district court of the country wherever the e-filing system has been adopted as on date. So one fundamental feature is the online submission of wakalat. Even for the signing of the wakalat, the client has to visit the office of the advocate. So if the advocate is registered user in the e-filing and the litigant is also one of the user, the litigant can submit the online wakalat online. There are ready-made templates to be used by the advocates for filing of the cases. The e-signing facility enables the authorization and verifications. The video recording of oath online is possible. The payment of court fee through online mechanism is possible. Multiple IAs can be filed. Applications can be filed in a pending case. The advocates can manage their portfolio, and wherever available, if the court information system is available in the bilingual mode, this application works in the bilingual mode. So just rushing through I will not go in these details. How the wakalat can be filed, how the templates can be used, how the pleadings can be uploaded and e-signed, and also about the video recording. So application filing gives a great relief to the advocates, because it happens that one advocate may be having say around 50 or 100 cases somewhere around, and he needs to file application in many of those cases. So cost list for the entire day for that particular advocate, the advocate will be able to see it in his dashboard, and wherever required he can file the application. Templates for the application are also available. This facility is available to select the particular case and particular day also, and in all the applications can be submitted in one go. Then there is another facility of great usage for the advocates. The advocates can add their colleagues, juniors as partners, and they can also tag their cases with them. Once the cases are added, it can be also assigned to a particular partner or a particular team member. This facility can also be used by the government pleaders. Say for example, in the Advocate General Office, they can assign the cases to the other Deputy Advocate Generals and Additional Advocate Generals. This feature helps in allocation of the work amongst the Office of the Advocates. Then portfolio management, that facility helps as a case planner for new as well as existing cases. There is a facility for search of the cases from the portfolio. Even the events for the cases can be added through this calendar. And the cases which the advocate has already saved in the mobile app, eCourts mobile app, those cases can be imported and exported also to the again to the mobile app. So this is an overview of the dashboard which an advocate will be experiencing. He gets information about the draft pleadings pending with him, how many pleadings he has already completed, how many applications are pending for payment for authentication, number of IAs filed for existing cases, what are the objections, the count of the objections which have been raised in the different cases, and number of cases in his portfolio. So this information is available both to the advocates, and it can be also used by the government advocates also for management of their office. Because all the learned CPCs, they have a provision in the NJDJ to mark the advocates who have registered as with their bar numbers, that presently they are holding charge of AG in the AG office. The user registration for the advocates, it is being verified and it's integrated with the Bar Council. So the information is being collected from the Bar Council, and the particulars of the advocates, they are being verified there, and only the verified advocates are allowed to file the cases. The e-filing software also has a provision in which the clerks of the advocates can also get themselves registered, but they cannot file the case. They can only do some of the activities in order to assist their, the advocate, say by uploading of the pleadings and other things. So these are the unique features. Entire filing can be done in a synchronous mode without the advocate and the clients meeting each other. The submission of pleadings in the courts, video recording of the oath, when client, advocate and court are geographically situated at different locations, that is now possible with the help of e-filing. Because it is felt that many of the softwares are available, but they are not being used to their optimal potential. And there is a need of sensitization, and for these things, the program like today is of immense help. The e-filing helps the advocates and the entire system in saving of the time, paper, money, the travel, and it reduces the footfall in the court. In fact, these are the words of the Honorable Chairperson and presently Chief Justice of India, that during the COVID period, e-filing and video conferencing are the two things which kept the courts going, and the meetings between the clients and advocates can be minimized for these reasons at least. For e-filing, if more information is available, training material is available on the committee website. Short training videos are available, online help manuals are also available in the form of entire manual as well as in the form of frequently asked questions. And I see there are a lot of law students here. So for their information, I will just run through the ESCR portal and how we can filter our requirement from the portal. So the ESCR portal has around 34,000 plus judgments from the Supreme Court of India freely available, and the High Court portal has more than 1.1 crore judgments from across 25 high courts. Currently they are available here. The search from this portal can be undertaken by using various parameters like the name of the Honorable Judge, the case number. Most important features of this portal is that it is a free text search engine which finds out the judgment based on the given keywords or a combination of keywords. So we can have a combination of keywords, or we can find the case from one keyword also. Then there is a combination of several search options available. Within one search criteria, we can make another search so as to filter it further. The embedded filtering feature allows filtering on available results. The portal is very user friendly and is useful for the legal fraternity. So this is the landing page. Justice Govindraj sir has already shown the landing page. So pointing at one are the basic parameters on the basis of which the search can be done. And at serial number 2 is the full text search option. And at the pointer number 3, we can go for the related topics, like it shows for the Supreme Court, the judgments have been further filtered out, whether it is 13 judge bench decision, 11 judge bench decision. So that way also one can scroll, get the information. Then the parameter search is already it is discussed. The phrases we can use to search within the search criteria, we can go through the phrases, like this slide shows search with regard to the phrase freedom of speech. So it has shown a result of 2,755 judgments. Then the phrases can be in the shape of a combination, like this slide shows, a combination of capital punishment and aggravating circumstances. So for using two phrases, we have to mention them in the double quotes, separated with a comma. And then any word search can also be used to get a broader search result. And similarly, all words search, which will force the filter to select the particular requirement of the user. So the search also provides a functionality for combination of the judge's name. So for any High Court or for the Honorable Supreme Court of India, the list of the judges is available, and we can go through that list and select go for a combination of the judges. So the search result, what it gives to us, it shows to us the CNR number, the date of registration of the case, the date of disposal of the case, what was the nature of the disposal, the list of the judges who delivered the judgment based on the search criteria, and the year of disposal / decision. So if the search criteria, text for the search criteria is specified, the paragraph including search text as highlights will be displayed. So judgment can also be viewed by clicking on the this hyperlink. We can get the judgment in the PDF format, and we can download it for our use, or we can just save it for also print it if required. Any search result can be further narrowed down by providing additional search parameters. All the parameters can be provided at a time, or they can be added one by one. It's a example showing that in the first search criteria, we went for the search selecting the court, then the bench, and then the judge name and decision date. We can further carry on the criteria to get to the exact narrow down our search results. So that's the that's about the use of the ESCR portal for going through searching the Supreme Court judgments as well as for the High Court judgments, which is of immense use for the law students as well as the legal fraternity. With these words, I conclude my presentation, and from the heart of my heart, I thank the Guwahati High Court for this opportunity, and hope that the facilities being provided to the advocates or to the litigants, they are used to their maximum benefit. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Arora sir, for such a wonderful and insightful presentation. Now, I'd like to entreat my Lord, Honorable Mr. Justice Suman Shyam, Chairman, ICT Committee, Gauhati High Court, for the closing remarks. I request Ratnari Bhattacharya sir to escort His Lordship.
Good afternoon, everybody. After listening to the speakers this afternoon, or maybe from the morning, I decided to tweak the program a little bit for two reasons. First, that most of the things which were a part of my PowerPoint presentation has been very aptly addressed by the erudite, eminent speakers who have come before me. And secondly, we didn't want to be too off target insofar as time is concerned. Now, I would be very brief. less than 5 minutes because I know all of you are hungry after a very absorbing and interesting session which commenced this morning. You must have noticed that all the eminent speakers who have spoken so far have in a very articulate manner laid down before you the various developments which have taken place all across the country in different high courts, which is ushering in a new era of, judicial dispensation with the help of digital technology. Now, if you have carefully noticed what has been said, and I think a lot has been said today. I don't remember in a single day having exposed to so much of useful information on a particular topic which is so relevant, so contemporary, and so much waiting to be embraced by all of us. I haven't seen it before. So special thanks to Honorable Justice Sandeep Mehta, the Chief Justice of Guwahati High Court, to conceive of such a wonderful idea. As Justice Mushtaq has said, this is also perhaps one of its kind because we have all the stakeholders present here today. Now, having heard many things which were also, news to me, I think one can safely say that the situation is pregnant with huge possibilities for the future. Much bigger and bigger things can happen in the days ahead, provided we are ready to embrace it. Now, whatever the speakers have said so far, I would like to put two questions to you so that you start thinking on how to use this information unto yourself. First is, what is there in it for you? Why should you take things seriously, what has been said today? Why should you take it seriously? And secondly, why are we as judiciary urging you to embrace technology? These are the two questions I will put to you with some suggestions from my side. And after that, if the eminent panelists permit, maybe one or two questions we can take and conclude it. What is there in it, you? Let me put a proposal to you. How will it feel? The learned counsels, the lawyers, and the judicial officers and the officers from the administration, how will it feel if you are able to do your filings from your chamber 24/7, if you are able to resolve your issues 24/7 through an AI-based chatbot portal? How will it feel if you do not have to go to the court unless you are actually required to argue a heavy matter which requires a physical presence before the court? How would it feel to you if you could yourself post matters in consultation with the opposite party which are convenient to you without waiting for the matter to be listed before the court, requesting the registry and then waiting in the queue for the case to reach? How would it feel if you have all relevant information about a particular matter in your fingertips? How would it feel if you could do your work on the run? In other words, even if you are traveling, you are moving somewhere, you can still have access to all information which can make you prepared, ready for the matter which is listed next week or next day. So these are all things which we are trying to make available to you. In fact, I would be very glad to inform you that Guwahati High Court is perhaps the first high court in the country which has engaged a full-time technical expert. A former Deputy Director General of NIC has been engaged as a full-time technical expert in the Guwahati High Court. The idea is to ensure that there is a seamless transition in the digital framework. Not because the apps and softwares are not being developed, not because of that. We wanted someone in-house to resolve all your problems. So why are we going digital? We want to give you answer to every problem. If we can give an answer to every problem faced by everyone connected with this institution through the digital platform, we would have thought we have succeeded. So you had this problem, that problem, you didn't have this information, this matter was not being listed, you have issue with this, your IA was not being listed, your order copy you are not getting, some matter heard few days back. All these problems we want to resolve it without human interference with the help of technology and artificial intelligence, and that is why they trust. Why are we urging, if you do not start e-filing, e-filing is the precursor of a shifting, a transition into the digital world. If you do not start it today, what will happen? On one hand, we are digitizing the case records. And on the other hand, if you go on filing new cases in paper form, then it will be a never-ending business. It will never end. So while we are trying to cover all those paper files which have already been brought into the system, we have to at the same time prevent new paper files from coming. Otherwise it becomes a never-ending business. And secondly, if you have the basic module ready, then we are in a position to take the next few steps which can make life easier. So the whole idea is to make life easier for everyone, and that can happen only when you help yourself a little bit, go through whatever information has been shared today with you, see in what manner you can use it in your day-to-day life, embrace it in every possible manner, and please do come up with suggestions. The Guwahati High Court, under the august leadership of Justice Sandeep Mehta, is open to all positive ideas which can help the stakeholders to deliver better to the litigants. Now, I would like to conclude only by saying thank you very much to Honorable Justice Mushtaq Ahmed, who has come from Kerala High Court, Honorable Justice Vineet Mathur, Honorable Justice P.S. Bhatti, and Honorable Justice Kuldeep Mathur, who have come from Rajasthan High Court, Honorable Justice Suraj Govindraj from Karnataka High Court, and Dr. P.S. Arora, the member projects E-Committee, Supreme Court of India, who have come and attended this. Also would like to thank everyone present here today. You have been very patiently and attentively taking note of whatever has been happening. I know you all are hungry. Lunch is waiting outside. But just before lunch, can we have 2 questions? Anybody wants? Can somebody ask a question from the balcony and one from below? We can deflect it to one of the eminent speakers. Or are you too hungry to speak anything? Any question? Okay, everybody is hungry. I get the message. So if that is the case, I think we can conclude it, sir, with your permission. Thank you very much once again to everyone present here, and thank you so much, my esteemed sisters and brothers in the bench, Justice Ali, who have rendered so much of cooperation in holding this program. Thank you.
As the program stands concluded, I'd like to request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly proceed to the VIP lounge for the lunch, and I request our team members to kindly escort their lordship. I further request all our esteemed and distinguished guests to kindly remain seated in the auditorium itself, and we'll be serving lunch in the seats itself inside the auditorium. Our support staff will be there, and we have made this arrangement so that there is smooth distribution of the lunch. Thank you all for being such a great audience. Thank you.